Dire team ban.
Welcome back, ESL 1 powered by Intel, upper division of the Eastern European DPC League, and we have for you AS Monaco Gambit, there you go, taking on Navi here in the best of 3. We're joined by Purge on big screen because we are about ready to show you the draft town Tigov with me as well. And yeah, Purge, this is going to be the debut of no one in AS Monaco Gambit. How do you think that he'll do? Are you on the same page as Kyle? Do you think there will be a little bit of a honeymoon phase going into this?
I mean, almost for sure. I'm happy to see him playing in the DPC leagues. There's definitely some major players across multiple regions that kind of just got left out due to team shift issues, and no one's certainly one of the best players in the world. He has been for like at least like 6 years at this point. So I'm happy to see him get a chance to play. Feel bad for FN, but you know, ultimately, I think he'll do really good. Yeah,
I think everybody feels a little sad for FN, but at the same time, it is a competition. You want to be the best, and to be the best, you got to have the best. And I don't think anybody's going to argue anywhere that no one is not better than FN. So let's talk about this draft.
Let's talk about that Earthshaker first pick.
Wait, stop, wait, this is just going to be a Beastmaster from Navi, no?
No?
Could be.
I feel it. I feel it in my bones, tingling.
Could be.
Did you guys see that that Earthshaker counter the other day? All you have to do is win before 20 minutes, and then he's just like, okay.
That's smart.
Pretty straightforward.
That's, you know,
5 seconds remaining.
that makes sense.
You aggro tri lane, you have push in your off lane.
Yeah.
On your safe lane, sorry, and then your mid just has to win the matchup, and then you're good to go. Oh, bye, Purge.
Yeah.
That's it. Purge has had enough. He's like, you know what? I've revealed the strat of Dota, and his camera just disappeared.
Puppy took me out.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Wait, which puppy?
I hope it means Tango.
Oh. Wait, you named your puppy Tango?
You didn't know?
No, you don't tell me anything.
That was like 3 years ago.
I was going to say, he's had that dog forever. Do you not follow his Instagram or his Twitter?
Yeah.
All right, plug it.
I basically only post dog pictures to my Instagram.
Yep.
And then when normal people see it, they're like, this guy likes his dog way too much. And it's like, no, I just don't give a shit about Instagram.
But at least
yeah,
dog
great job.
I know.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I mean, why would you need to diversify if you still can get the heroes that you know you can win with, right?
Yeah.
That being said, this is something that is going to be very predictable as well. So I would imagine that AS Monaco Gambit has prepared for this Beastmaster.
It really is just dog pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. You surprised?
No. Well, I follow you now, so I'm
okay,
more up to date with your life.
Good.
Is it weird? No, we gotta talk about the draft. That's for later. Never mind.
Wow.
We're in the second ban phase. You got like a minute or so to spin.
Is it strange that it feels like you can like kind of pseudo keep in touch with people now? Like you don't talk, but if you follow people on all their socials and they're active, you effectively know everything that they're doing and what's happening in their life. So that if you were to call them and make small talk, it's like, what would you say? I already know all the things.
Well, you know all the things that they want you to know.
Yeah.
Public stuff. You still don't know the true intimate thing about them. So
but that's what I mean. There's a lot of pressure on then having conversations because you can't have that like fun catch up stuff. You already know what's happening. All you can do is just skip straight to the like the self-doubt and oppressive
social
existentialism.
media. It really does put a lot of questions on us. But just like this draft has a lot of questions for us, I think AS Monaco, they're in a position with the next puck. I feel like a Shaker Beastmaster naturally counters that. The instant lockdown from the Shaker beats the puck and the Beastmaster beats the Nick. So already Navi looking a little bit better, but of course, you know, only 2 picks in.
10 seconds.
No, I totally agree. I think we discussed it, but really like Shaker against puck. Necro 3 beats Nyx. Secret demonstrated that yesterday. Just like already a great spot. You need to have a strong safe lane. That's how you can punish this Shaker Beast a bit. Don't allow the Beastmaster to dominate because the Shaker can't really do too much to his system in that aggressive laning.
See from the ban of Gone Purge?
I was gonna say, what's your aggressive lane? Just like a really strong 5-position support, like Enchantress, for example.
Yeah. In regards to AS Monaco, they need to have some lane pressure for this Beastmaster. But I think from the bans from AS Monaco, it very much shows that their puck is mid, and they are just worried about this overwhelming pressure that Na'Vi is going to apply. And then flip side to Na'Vi, when you've already presented your off lane and there's nothing to hide, they're taking away the Timber Sword and actually counters that. And like Purge just mentioned, there's Enchantress that would be able to pretty much, 1v2 this lane. Other supports that could be able to do this would be the Witch Doctor, Crystal Maiden to some degree. But again, they're not as optimal. This is where normally, Kyle, you add a point.
No,
You can talk about my dog again if you want.
yeah.
Yeah. He's actually just keeps scrolling through. He's just
He can't
addicted
stop
now.
it.
A lot of cute pics in there.
Yeah. My own story about being a caretaker is that the apartment I have in Kyiv had a bunch of plants, and my landlord actually repossessed a few of them because
They died.
I wasn't capable of caring for them.
Wait, were the plants there when you moved in?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which, to be fair,
Okay.
I will say,
10 seconds remaining.
I wouldn't trust myself with caring.
I
for
just
other
really
living
hope
things,
that you
so-
bought the plants, and then the
No.
guy came in and was like, "Carl, mate, these plants you bought, and just not keep they're mine now."
Called social services on your complaints.
Yeah,
These poor plants.
that was a good. No comment. I think the right pet for me, a fish with an auto feeding.
I was gonna say fish actually need quite a bit of care, and they need like
a
You have to-
cactus.
the water,
they,
and then,
and they need constant. Like they like the
pH levels and everything.
regimen.
When I was young, you remember those chia pets, like Tamagotchis?
Yeah.
Mine never made it past a week.
Cool.
Kyle, what you need is you need a pet, but you also need a roommate who takes full control of the
Yes.
pet, and you just happen to benefit from it. That's
Also,
what
This is Valentine's Day. Don't bring up the roommate partner thing.
Na'Vi's
Bit mean for Kyle.
I
Sensitive.
mean, you don't have to be
think-
making out with them. They could just be your roommate.
That's true.
I mean,
Good
who
point.
makes that with a plant? It'd be prickly, especially if you had a cactus.
what?
I want sat on a cactus.
Not surprised.
I was sitting on the couch, and then I leant over the arm, and then just fell back, and then I just boop, straight on the cactus. It was very
That's
prickly.
the sound you made?
remaining.
Oh, boop.
No, it was actually more like a ah, and then it was like 3 cactus, and my whole back was just covered.
Fairly high pitch.
I was a young child. Do you think I'm gonna be like, yep, just a cactus, another day in the Robson household? No, I'm gonna be
It's the moment
upset.
you went through puberty.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
just happened to line up perfectly.
Phoenix. Probably going to be the always want to fly hero.
Correct.
One of
Yeah.
the accomplished Phoenix players throughout most of his career. That is actually where he draws his name from, because he always wants to play Phoenix.
Is that real?
No.
Or-
Yes.
No.
I think he's
Yeah, it
really
is.
reaching.
What?
Oh, I always want to fly.
Yes.
Is not named Always Want to Fly because he always wants to play Phoenix. This guy's been in the scene way too long for him to have a name revolving around Phoenix.
That's a good point. Yeah. Unless he changed his name, like Phoenix was a little bit of a late addition to Dota.
Yeah.
How late? It was like 8 years ago, wasn't
Exactly. And Always Want to Fly has been over a decade with the Dota scene.
Well, now we have a question
look
for
it
the
up.
interview.
Yep.
In regards to the Phoenix pick, it solidifies their first 2 picks with overwhelming team fight now. It really puts a lot of pressure on this Puck and Nyx where they are pick-off heroes. And when you are unable to cleanly pick off the supports at the start of a fight, mainly due to Shaker's very defensive positioning, and Phoenix always has that egg capability if you survive the combo, it makes it very hard for AS Monaco to really fight with conviction. Na'Vi now double down on that kind of concept with a Kunkka mid. It's so hard for Monaco to even have much damage early on, but to find these pickoffs nicely.
And I also think that that's a block pick, especially against no one who, in this meta, I think if you watch Secret play around it when Niche is on it, can have that same sort of game impact. It's just the perfect hero, especially in a game you're playing against Shaker and Beast. The damage reduction and the high catches is really nice and would allow them to team fight very effectively in the mid game, which we've already discussed as being really key for this series.
Yeah. A difficult thing for no one as well. The heroes he's been playing most is like Monkey King, Void Spirit, Storm Spirit, these type of heroes mid, and they don't feel that great, especially maybe not into the Kunkka matchup, but when you think of the big picture, the defensive nature of Na'Vi's heroes, it's so hard to jump these heroes and kill them quickly once again. That's the key thing here.
Yeah. The Puck, I guess, could just be his hero, but I just never really thought of no one as a Puck player.
Like realistically, it is just because of the DK ban, like mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
It kind of goes like 1 for 1 here.
I
Monaco,
guess it's a hero we don't see him play that often, but like, I mean, he's an experienced Storm player. It's not that different in terms of like moving around, getting stuff done.
On
that's
top
true.
of that, at the moment, Puck and Voice Spirit are two of the most, like, if you're mid, you kind of have to be able to play these heroes, and with no one not being on a team for a while, you can only imagine that these are the two heroes that he would have spammed a lot as well, just to, you know, be the tier 1 commodity, or rather reassure everybody that he's still that tier 1 commodity.
Be interesting to see. There was a triumvirate of players I figured would find a home either this season or after rosters open up after the first major. No one, Ramses, and Sumel.
Yeah.
So 1/3 has found a home.
Yep.
But you got to figure that there will be more change coming.
I do like the fact that Monaco realize they don't have this ability to really pressure Na'Vi in the big team fight, so they are kind of double downing on this laning phase presence. There's Ursa plus Jakiro into the Beastmaster. If you quickly kill the ball and get on top, you do have some kill potential.
I also like that you can see the Nigma versus Alliance series still impacting the rest of the scene, because any game I've seen Slark banned, a bat ban was immediately followed up by the side that didn't have the pick out of the face.
You think they
Instant
never mind, I'll
Instant.
talk later.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll make it much easier for them to defend towers, obviously. You can be the frontliner. He's going to need a pipe. He might need 2 pipes this game, but he can frontline.
10 seconds.
It's like one of those games where you get so happy when you drop another shawl from neutral items. You're like, oh, yes,
5
can survive the
seconds
burst.
remaining.
All the magic damage.
They don't have much time left to pick, really, but the underlord covers from the illusions, and okay, they go for the morphling.
You may now
It's fair.
select your
It gives them the win condition, but the key thing here
More
is,
Earthshaker, dude.
yeah, it's Morph Shaker, but you have to also think about the timing that Monaco has. If they are able to come out in the laning phase, Ursa does rip through the morphling pre, 2 or 3 items. So there is a timing for Monaco to play around, but the simplicity of Na'Vi's draft, the laning pressure that they have, and the innate tankiness in big team fights, it kind of cushions that morphling as well. So, yeah, a lot of pressure on Monaco.
They got to perform.
Exactly. That's key.
Morph Shaker gets first 2'd when available by a bunch of teams in SCA and China. There's a reason for that. Ursa needs to be in a position where you just have total map dominance plus a Battle Fury at like 18 minutes. And you're just running around the map, choking them out. And even that might not be enough. I saw TNC defend with a 35k gold disadvantage pre 30 minutes because Morph Shaker, shards, etc.
Yeah, it is very strong. Is it strong enough here, Purge, to take the first game? What do you got for this one?
I like the morphling as well, outside of the combo. Just I think it lanes okay against Underlord. Obviously the damage reduction later can be an issue, but I think Navi's whole draft together looks a lot more clean and easy to execute than AS Monaco Gambit.
All right, thank you very much. We'll come back to you at the end of the game. T?
I think if AS Monaco Gambit can play well in that laning phase and collapse map quickly, they do have the answers to a morphling. It's just how well does the laning phase go, especially like the Underlord into morphling doesn't really do much. And if the Beastmaster has a good time, then suddenly all those timings shift and it's really hard to play around. But that first Roshan is theirs to play for. That quick 15, 20-minute timing is theirs to play for. So if they can, then I could see them doing it. But it's very hard uphill battle for them.
Is there any kind of benchmark, Borg? You say the first Roshan is going to be one that Monaco Gambit should have?
Yeah, it cushions their ability to take that big team fight that they're kind of inferior in the matchup, and then that alone should maybe pressure the tier 3s after. But no first Rosh, then game's going to be really, really hard.
All right, let's find out what's going to happen here in the first game of this best of 3 series. It's time to head over to a commentary team of Cap and Fog.
That's right. It's going to be, I think, a pretty fun series. Na'Vi and AS Monaco Gambit. Fogged, fortunately, I can't see you, which is a disappointment on Valentine's Day. But how are you feeling about this?
It looks fun. Looks like a lot of battling that's probably going to partake, because I do believe that Monaco is going to have to really fight a lot in the early game in order to keep themselves in a nice, advantageous spot, because I feel like if they let up at all, we're going to see this Earthshaker, this Morphling, this really heavy team fight lineup with the win condition probably just take the game. I think they really have to kick up the pace on AS and Monaco and Gambit.
Well, let's go ahead and get into the game as quick as we can, because I believe we are going to be having some 5-man smoke action. We're probably going to have maybe a first blood, depending on what happens here. 5-man movement from AS Monaco Gambit. They 5-man smoked into the enemy triangle. Looks like Na'Vi saw it coming. Well positioned to be able to pop the smoke.
30 seconds to battle.
They were actually, so little fun stuff is I was watching them having their little talks in the lobby before the game does start. Both of them, of course, you know, lots of history between them, and especially with No One and Always Want to Fly and those guys in general and all that. So they're all chatting. They're talking about Earthshaker before the game, saying how broken it is.
Yeah.
Then they get up for, you know, first big Earthshaker comes out in the game for Na'Vi. So
Well, you know,
like they're in a good spot.
you've only got yourself to blame if you're not willing to ban it. So
Yeah.
The battle begins.
how this goes. Earthshaker Beast. You know, I don't think I've actually seen this combo of late very often, but it does make a lot of sense. I mean, Beastmaster, his weakest point is level 1 and 2. Being able to have this Fissure block at the very start can definitely do a lot for
Yeah, definitely. Ursa's going to be able to get some stuff out of this, but General's going to get a really nice lane for himself. Even though he's versus a Jakiro, which is one of the better heroes, like your Witch Doctors, your TMs, your Enchantresses, this is one of the better ones to actually be versus Beastmaster, but Earthshaker breaks that, so it's going to be a good lane for that Beastmaster. Does have to be careful. They can get killed quite a bit from these two. Dream as well as Taneko, they can punish pretty heavily, as long as they're persistent in killing the boars. But yeah, lane positioning should just be fine for General.
Iceberg versus No One in the mid lane matchup. No One. Looking forward to seeing him back in the mid lane again.
Yeah.
You know, feels like it's been a minute.
It feels like it's been I feel like I haven't seen him in such a long time, actually. I don't think I've gotten a chance to cover ASM at all, really. So far in the circuit, at least. I think I got to do one game of them, but besides that, it's been pretty limited. So I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to do, because Dream's been really impressive for me overall in his carry. And it does look like he's gonna have a pretty tough game ahead of him.
Yeah, it certainly feels like I don't know. What do you think about this trade-off? Because I feel like the storyline is, you know, like, oh, No One's just a better player. Like, of course, this is great. But I've heard from multiple players, and you never really know what a player brings to the table until gone. You know?
Yeah.
It's like there are certain things about the play style. It's not just all about skill. How a team.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There is a lot of cool stuff too, where I think he has such a big hero pool. I think this is like those perfect type of patches for him. So I'm always looking forward to this. I think he's obviously just gonna get forced on puck most of these games, but I feel like it's always fun to get to watch No One at least open up and be able to play more heroes and just get stuck on all those play.
And our bottom lane
game
is what? Nyx Assassin Underlord. That doesn't feel like a super fun lane.
No, definitely not. Morphling, I feel like they picked this Morphling last pick for V2 because it just looks like a overall pretty free Morphling game. The only thing he has to really worry about this game is No One. And if No One's game gets shut down at all on this puck, then he's perfectly fine. And they do have ways to deal with that puck, as we've, you know, Earthshaker in most situations can just be enough. Chain stun.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially since you have good amount of follow-up. I mean, you've got the point-and-click stun of Primal Roar. You've got the potential. If you can get the shard, I'm sure it's pretty easy for you to be able to Fissure into an Enchant Totem Aftershock stun into a Torn, you know? And then that'll just be like 100-0 pretty.
Oh, absolutely. I think I'll be pretty worried if I don't see ASM just kind of dominating at that 20-minute mark when it does hit. If the shard comes out and I see Na'Vi in like a good position, like 2K, 3K, even like something like that, net worth advantage, I think it's going to be a really tough game for Monaco. They're really under the gun to stay ahead, get ahead and stay ahead in this game.
Well, this is where the top lane's going to start getting hard. We've got level 2 boar, so Taneko can't deal with it very easily, and Dream is going to have some in general with this lane. In fact, he's going to make a run for his ring health because he knows how badly he needs that extra bit of regen. Going to be in an awkward position, though. Roger's just going to keep his distance, kind of keep him zoned out potentially. He's going to throw Fissure. General's cutting across. I'm surprised they didn't really go on him with the board to try and get up damage, but seems like you talked about how important the mid lane matchup is potentially. He really wanted to be there.
Yeah, I think if you shut down No One in this game, the V-Tune's just going to have the most free Morphling game ever. So I think that's the right place, just checking that out. And General's already getting a good amount top anyway. Sure, they're not killing the Ursa, but that lane's not going well. You know, Ursa's farming, but unlike CM and Witch Doctor, where you literally address the boar, Jakiro is not the same. He's very slow. So you see 230 movement speed when he's getting hit by these boars, and Taneko is just very dead here.
Yeah, and they're going to get the first blood onto Roger. At the same time, just before the first blood was claimed, they actually managed to kill Always Wanna Fly.
How did Always Wanna Fly die down there? Seems like a pretty
know.
tough lane. Must have just eaten a little bit too much harassment. Maybe got caught before he gets a dive out. Not sure. Stakes, but he's securing the farm for Morphling, who, as we see, all the way at the top there, 26-13 to the 16-2 of the Underlord. He's fine with if his Always Wanna Fly dies and brings him his items.
Of course, Always Wanna Fly probably has the longest hit here in Dota. They were kind of touching that on the panel. He started off in like 2011 with the retry.
Yeah.
That was, of course, long before Phoenix came to Dota 2. Just in.
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say this guy has a long history of dying.
Well, you know.
I was gonna be Jesus, Cap.
It goes hand in hand. When you play 5 position for a really long time, you're naturally gonna rack up some deaths. In fact, I would love to see the stats on what player has the most deaths in professional matches across their career.
Pilot die.
One. Pilot die? Yeah, that's gotta be.
I would raise that right there.
Yeah.
Pi very sacrificial.
Always Wanna Fly's definitely got to be up there. I'm sure the legendary captains of Kuro and Puppy are probably, you know, close to that top 10, if not in it.
Yep. Seeing Iceberg playing a little bit cautious in the mid lane, getting his stack. I think he's expecting this rotation. They also had a ward watching immersion, so we'll see the runes checked out. We'll spawn down toward bottom with DD. Very nice if no one's able to get that. With the DD, they can actually set up for some kills. It looks like it's a race, though.
Iceberg, he doesn't want to let him get a second power rune here, and he'll force the DD to be picked up. Now, thanks to Always Wanna Fly being here, they have a small chance to be able to win this fight, especially with the boat coming in. Immersion's going to be pulled back into it. Managed to time the spike carapace to turn that boat damage, but it's not enough to live. Is it enough for no one to be able to get this kill? Slow down. Always Wanna Fly, just doing everything he can. The smallest Icarus dive to get that movement speed slow onto no one. Now he's got to make sure that he can actually get out. He does die here, but ultimately he did save his mid from going down. Well worth it.
Yeah, definitely. Nice little plays for sure. Stop. All right. Yeah, looks like we had some action happen up there too. Dream getting pressured, and this is scary already. The Ursa is getting slowed down. There's already a book 1 on General, his most comfortable hero, this Beastmaster. Level 6, Underlord is not able to slow down Morphling at all. VTune is having a completely free game. This is already a big concern. As Na'Vi, with the better win condition in the later stages, is really leading this early game already. As Taneko, see you later.
Can't tell you, Fogged, how much I loathe the Necrobook as an item right now. And you can kind of see why it does so much damage. They're able to put the pressure on Dream without Primal Roar. He's got 2 levels above the Ursa now with that Necrobook. This is a lane that Dream no longer inhabit. They've just got to abandon this top lane. They don't even have a support that really can take that lane for him, just because Jakiro, pre-level 6, can't really do a whole lot about a Beastman. You get Macro Pyre, you can throw that out and keep your distance, but Dual Breath will not allow you to actually stay in that lane by itself. So
no, they have to send the Underlord. If they want to try to hang on to that tower, send Underlord and have a TP rotation from the puck at the ready. Otherwise, sack the tower, because you are going to feed anyone else who goes under it. This Beastmaster and Earthshaker have gotten way too much. Roger has Arcane Boots because he got First Blood, which is a blessing. You never really get those unless you do get that First Blood for the most part. So yeah, this is going to be problematic. So now Dream's map is going to start shrinking really quickly. So it honestly might be the best move to send the Underlord up there. I don't know if they want to start losing towers at this early of a time.
Yeah, no, I gotta agree. I'm not sure how happy the Ursa will be switching lanes and playing against the Morphling, but quite frankly, you're gonna be losing this tower if you don't. There's no way Dream or Snake or the combined power of the two could possibly stop this push.
Okay, they're gonna instead make their own push rather than setting up there. They don't see where Iceberg is, so I think that's where Afterlife Underlord is a bit scared to actually go up and defend. If there's 3 heroes there, he just dies as well, so they're gonna make their own push play to try to get something out of that map movement. But they're not killing it fast. In general, take the top tower with ease, and they can even defend mid and set up too.
Once again, making the Spike Carapace play, returns some damage onto Iceberg. Iceberg positioning nicely though, in order to cleave hit. Echo. So they take a bit of damage on that mid tower, but the entire top tower is wiped away, and the Sage Wagon is still very much alive. So that threat is still there, potentially doing some good amount of damage as well. Something that ASM Gambit is going to have to find a way to address it.
Tower is under attack.
Big concerns. I'm already. If I was in their shoes, I'd already be sweating.
Yeah.
Morphling just not pressured, and you don't have ways to pressure him. You're killing Phoenix a bunch, which is great. You know, you're getting these always want to fly kills, which you should go down. Yep. But you're not slowing down Morphling. And your Ursa is being significantly slowed down. Like, great, 3 deaths. They've got those 3 kills, but they don't do anything for them. They're getting earn charges for no one, which is great for him, but that's just about it.
5-3, a 3,000 net worth lead this early, and we aren't even like seeing the Beastmaster fully in swing yet. Once he gets Necro 3 and like is taking out that mid tower, like that's where you really start getting a huge net worth lead, because then you've got a giant map control. Well, so all your cores are farming 2 to 1.
They can just shrink the map completely. I feel like VTune can solo pressure bottom as Morph while his 4 teammates pressure mid, and you force this hand of ASM Monaco. Like, what are they supposed to do in that situation? You have to fight, which is scary into this book right now. Yeah. But I think it's the best solution that they have to do. They have to park this Underlord in the mid lane. If they lose this mid tower in the next few minutes, there's going to be no space for Dream to farm this Battle Fury.
Yeah, 100%. It's also the best opportunity for them to be able to create some space for Dream is if they can get into these fights in mid and hold out, especially if they can get a kill out of it, it'd be even better. The boat's going to come in, but the damage reduction, it's not going to be good enough. Iceberg goes down, does do a little bit back to no one, but not worth talking about. So that is a really good start. They do have to worry about bottom. It's push from deep.
Yep, they'll have to send one down there, but just keep this Underlord, keep the puck in the mid lane for the most part for these next few minutes. Just keep slowing down that push, keep slowing down General as well as Iceberg. And Iceberg, he has to be more careful how he steps up as, always want to fly as well.
Okay, gets off the Supernova. The Fisher is going to be able to get in front of Immersion, and he will go down.
Close.
Yeah, nice rebuttal there, but that a lot of damage. If anything, I might actually Gambit, who take the mid tower first if they can hold off defense. Na'Vi continuing to try and work heroes around the map. An opening found. Dream really wasn't showing himself a whole lot. He was playing the jungle for the most part, but General still finds him.
Just the general Beastmaster things. Looks like he tried to man fight versus that Necro Warrior, and he just gets roared and turned on. General, as you know, actually, we've gotten to cast a lot of these Na'Vi games when he just stands on those high grounds. That looks like it was one of those situations where Ursa just walked into books and gets completely demolished.
Yeah, and quite frankly, I think there's a huge difference in the power spike of the Beastmaster doing this same play where he kind of like sits on high grounds and just says, I own this area, because it's not just the Primal Roar stun, right? But it's also the aura that he gives his Necronomicon minions. So much stronger Enigma that we saw him playing that style with.
Absolutely. Again, I mean, they really want to just kill always want to fly. This time they'll get him again. So that's the 4th death. 4 out of 5 have been him.
You fools. You're following right into always want to die's trap card.
They really are. That's the thing, you know. It really is happening as we see General. Book 3 is online, so he's looking to set up on mid. Iceberg has to be a little more careful now, though, because he can't be the one actually just walking up to hit this tower. They have to get a flank maneuver on Na'Vi. Otherwise, he can just die. He still is very susceptible to that firestorm damage as he's very high HP, lots of nuke. So Iceberg has to be a little more cautious with his...
Oh, that Vendetta. It breaks the smoke. Roger knows they're around here somewhere. Actually throws out the Fisher right as he was about to get hit. He's still going to die here, but at least they turn around a good amount of damage. Afterlife, he's going to pull the emergency card here and see if they can actually get out, but no one gets popped. Afterlife, whoo, he gets pulled right back by the Iceberg. He was not going to let him get away. And now Na'Vi, they have a chance to just full-on run at the mid tower and even the odds here.
I feel like I'm just seeing this, like a similar game happen so often lately where it's the trap of this Nyx. people pick Nyx, you get Beastmastered, game feels so damn hard for you to do much. This book 3, he's spotted for all of his movements, and it just counters it with the way that you want to play. You want to play as a group unit with Beastmaster. Oh my god, they find a beautiful stack.
Wow.
And Nyx hates playing versus those group lineups. So I'm just seeing this several times now in these last few days, and it seems like teams are really starting to figure it out.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Whenever we see this Nyx opener, I always like it when they're banning like Lycan, Beast. Maybe you might have to ban both of them, but definitely the
Dream.
Gonna try and.
He just walked into the high ground versus General again.
Yeah. There's no
General's
Primal
gonna
Roar, and yet he's still terrified for his life because the combination of the boars and the purge slow.
Scan comes out. He did get a nice D-ward as well with that book 3 as soon as it was summoned, so he forces them away. He gets the scan successfully too, so reads the movement. So a nice play there by General. We just see V-Tune almost double. He's getting close to double the net worth of Ursa. Ursa wants to be playing way ahead of Morphling. This is going to be a looming demise that's going to hit pretty quickly, I feel like, at this 20-minute mark when Shaker gets this thing too. As V-Tune, maybe they can get him once.
Silence. They don't have any follow-up. They're going to throw out the coil, but by now he's going to be able to start up his strength morph. You can see him even like baiting them. He's like, go ahead. No, I'm not strength morphing yet. You still have a chance. Look at that. General comes in on the right-hand side. Does manage to catch him in the river here. Slowing down Afterlife with the Supernova, trying to keep him in range of the stun. Will manage to hit that one. The big tanky boy of Afterlife does fall. And that is another smoke that goes to waste here for AS Monaco Gambit.
And that is now a Manta for V-Tune. So, oh my god. Oh, look at this. Highest average deaths. 23rd.
Spartan's number 2.
How is PGG still at the top, dude? PGG, a legend from 10 years ago. Holy crap.
You know, he left his mark, Fogged. Nobody's going to take that away from him.
I mean, PGG does tend to leave his mark in places that he goes. That guy. My man.
A legend in and out of the game.
Yeah. 4K gold lead, but it's starting to feel much more tremendous than that. Just with all these recent fights, there's just no hope for AS Monaco to really get any kills on this Morphling. They almost did, but now no one. It's just Troy. They even throw the echo on him.
Sitting underneath the Hawk Vision the entire time. They're going to make a move here, see if they can catch the Kunkka. They're really hoping like somebody is still left in this middle lane.
They have to get the Ursa on him. They have to get the Ursa on him like perfectly as the stun happens. Otherwise, I don't feel like they're going to have the damage to go through the Kunkka. These are hard kills that they're trying to set up on versus these tanky cores. Maybe Roger, bit of an easier one if they can set up on him. But no, Roger clears the 2 creeps, gets his Blink Dagger, goes and hides himself away.
You know, I don't even think, like, you can read AS Monaco Gambit. They kind of understand the position that they're in, and they're trying to make moves. Like, all these aggressive smoke plays, the fact that they took the mid tower. I feel like they've been making kind of the right read, but they've just been on the back foot pretty much just for laning phase. To be honest, drafts and what they had to Beastmaster versus Ursa with an Earthshaker Fisher block. That just kind of set the whole game and its tempo. Monaco Gambit being behind.
Absolutely, but that is what happens when you're playing versus Beastmaster, when you don't have a way to actually address them in lane, right? Like you get the deep tower pushes going, and then you get deep wards to watch the movement. So, you know, Navi can pick and choose which battles they always want to do because they're probably seeing these setups happening from AS Monaco. But it's hard. It really is tough for them right after that laning phase to recover, unless they just have perfect synergy, perfect plays with the puck. Just all his rotations go successful. But we've seen, you know, a couple of these rotations not go successful for no one, and he still is doing decent as the puck. So if he had a little more success in that early game, he'd be in a much better spot to actually slow down Morphling.
Gambit, they tried to go for the trade-off there. They were hitting the tier 2 tower. They probably knew Roshan was going on. That's a classic trade-off. Unfortunately, they couldn't do the damage fast enough to take the tier 2. TPs come in, and Sineko is going to be the victim of that rotation. Now, you can see AS Monaco Gambit are still trying to play like out on the map. But Na'Vi are not really splitting up too much, and they know they're around here. They're chasing them down. They are going to be able to find both of them here as Immersion's going to be chased out by the Beastmaster. And no one, he's got an orb, he's got a phase shift, might be able to jump away. He does manage to get a little bit farther with the Raining Rift, but they're going to spot him here in a second and chase him down with the Sun Ray. That is going to burnt to a crisp. 7,000 net worth lead now. Na'Vi. They continue just to make no mistakes.
Yeah, swoop swings around the map. You can see that ASM Monaco is they're getting desperate, you know, trying to find any ways to make space so that Ursa can get his farm online. Look at the positioning of where they just were. I think that says everything about the state of the game. They're between the tier 2 and tier 3, just cutting creep waves. And they're the dire team, by the way, right?
Yeah.
So it says everything about how they feel about the game, where Ursa's just nowhere near ready to fight, and they're just forcing Navi's movements at least a bit around so they can get some space.
And part of that is, again, the Beastmaster, right? Like, they have to play so aggressively, because if they play on their own side of map, they're just going to get hunted down like this and lose even more map control. Nurse is not going to have any space to... Afterlife, he's certainly going to die here. They're still chasing up on Dream. Roger throws the Fisher. Wrong direction there.
Navi got too much that they're comfortable with, honestly. Like, after like the laning phase goes, now they're just in cruise control. They're playing a general Beastmaster game. They have V-Tune on his most comfortable Morphling. Soneko's gonna just die over here on the side. It's a lot of heroes that they're just super comfortable with getting, and they got all of them. Like, even the Phoenix on Always Wanna Fly, even though he's died, you know, these are just heroes that they're used to playing the game state. Iceberg. BKB is forced, but he's just fine.
20-minute bounty runes coming up as well, which at least Gambit still hold enough to be able to get 2 of them. Power rune.
Interesting build that he is going for on no one. Just a straight E-Blade on Puck. I've not seen that yet.
Yeah, that is.
I've seen the Witch's Blades, the Blinks, the Ags, like everything on the sun, but not this.
You think that's just specifically against a Morphling? He's trying to just up the burst damage, or?
I guess so. Yeah, I don't know what else it would be. Just the thing is that it's into the Manta and all that, so he's gonna be able to dispel it too. So. Okay, JJ was just saying that Thompson did do it yesterday too, so I guess a couple people have been maybe experimenting with it just because E-Blade is such a good item in these mid laners now. So yeah, it's gonna be the same build that Thompson did, E-Blade into Octarine.
Well, V-Tune gonna start marching down. When you are in a lead like this, you got the Aegis, very common just to make this move of taking both of the off-lane towers. That'll take wrestle control over the triangle pretty easily, plus it's just a bunch of gold that's left there.
Yep. And of course, you know, I didn't get to actually point that out, but he actually also found another shawl. I feel like he always does on these Morphlings. You know, versus Puck, pretty thankful. Nice little spell. Spell resist, even a boost for his shotgun too. Best item you can get.
Glyph will push the teams back from their respective attacks on the tier 2 towers. The difference is Na'Vi, they're able to cut the mid lane, keep that pushed in as well. So they're
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
try and make a move here.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, they still have some time on their Aegis, so they're looking to force this fight. Book is going to be down for about 10 more seconds. And the Hawk, oh god, it's scouting. It's these both supports.
Tower has fallen.
They're claiming the high ground, looking for a wraparound as well with the Kunkka.
There goes out, lead off on the Nyx Assassin, not letting him get a chance to get off the Spike Carapace, but they also want the extra kill in Seneko, so the cores are saying, you guys got the Nyx Assassin, right? I'm going to go ahead, run down Seneko here, run down the captain. Deus Monaco. And did they get both? They did get both. Roger.
They will.
Finally cleans them up with the
Power of Hawk when you're ahead. You sure there's, you know, they might be dewarding some of these wards, but the Hawk is always going to give us some extra information. Aegis gets reclaimed, but good swing around the map to push ASM Monaco back to their base. And General's even going for a Shadow Blade, so even more hunting. I think he's really starting to notice. No way that ASM Monaco tries to fight us ever again. They're going to split push for the rest of the game. So he's on hunt.
All right, well, we've got the E-Blade up, so time for full-on shotgun Morphling. And if somehow this game stretches on another 15 minutes, well, V-Tune's got his plan B, which is turn into the Earthshaker with the Aghanim Scepter. So there's going to be no moment of weakness for this Morphling. You continue to get stronger and stronger.
Yeah, that's why they ended the draft with it. You know, that's that super win condition where he has a good game, and then he just gets even stronger and even stronger as... You know, as we just saw displayed by, you know, Southeast Asia mostly. Earthshaker Morphling. in the past ridiculous, now even more ridiculous somehow with the shard.
Yeah. They really gotta
Bottom.
take that shard out. Is no one is gonna die here. You really gotta make it so the shard is the fissure does not have aftershock attached.
Is under attack. Dyer's
And wait,
Just
other
make it so you
heroes.
have to stand on the fissure at least or something. Like the fact that you can just cast spells away from it. There's just so many different little things that make it a little bit too ridiculous.
Dream. Now there are 3 heroes here. They can kind of collapse on Na'Vi, but there is of course that outpost, which they're going to try and take here. The Beastmaster's already rotated in. He's going to TP on in. See if they can finish off Always Want to Fly. They can't. Supernova's going to go down. They go for the attempt at an Uber out, but that's going to be denied by X Mark Bot. So, yeah, instead of a sandwich, they end up getting obliterated, and now they're very likely... I mean, Fox, I don't really know what else they can do with this lineup. Quite frankly, I don't think there's a winning point.
I don't think there's been a winning point for a very long time, right? I don't think they've gotten a... When was the last time they even got a kill? The last time they got a kill was at like the 14-minute mark. It's been 10 minutes of absolute devastation. It's just been Na'Vi across the board doing everything. They've gotten 2 towers in the last 10 minutes, and that's it on the side of ASM Monaco. It's just been Na'Vi dictating the pace, doing everything right, and yeah, ASM Monaco just has to watch themselves kind of crash and burn out of this game until the next one. It's irrecoverable with an Ursa versus a Morphling when you get this far behind.
So they're pretty much banking on some extreme throws and somehow pushing this to some sort of super late game scenario where Puck and Ursa are out on items. I don't even know. They're going to go for a smoke here. See if they can just outnumber Na'Vi and win engagements that way. Always Want to Fly. A bit of deja vu. We're going to watch him receive the full brunt of AS Monaco's frustration and anger.
5 of the 7 deaths doing his job. They did try to make a move while those ultis were on cooldown. So Phoenix Egg and that Earthshaker Echo were down. So tried to make their move out. They catch, unfortunately, just the 5 position while not getting a bigger kill. It seems like that's the story of the game. You know, killing the 5 position. Phoenix not able to get much else as Na'Vi always seems to read the plays. And yeah, that Aghanim's about to be done for V-Tune already. So it's going to be a lower level of Enchant Totem, but who cares? You're going to be able to hop and skip around. I say that, but it's actually level 3. Just kidding. He's actually level 13 already.
Rogers. Part of a number far behind. E-Blade starting things off. They're just trying to force a BKB usage here, which they will. Iceberg's going to turn around, see if he can catch somebody. Pulls back Immersion. The rest of his team not fully ready to go for that fight, and it's unnecessary after all. Roshan up, so they could just play.
The fun begin. Ag's Morphling doesn't have the shard himself, so you know we're not going to see the aftershock thing just yet, but that is probably coming just next, unless they just kill everybody on the side of ASM Monaco, and ASM Monaco GG's out right after this fight, which is also very likely.
All right, Fogged. How does AS Monaco Gambit win a fight? What does that look like, even?
Okay, let's see. Let me look at this. I'm just like, how can they? I just don't know how they kill Morphling. I really just don't know. And killing him twice.
I don't know how they kill Kunkka either.
Yeah, I don't know how they kill the cores.
All right, well, he's got the still got the Earthshaker form, so he can still kind of run them down. If anybody is spotted here, which they will, General's going to go ahead and spot them. They're going to try and blow up General as quick as he can, but a BKB from him, and okay, they're going to try and get out. They're really Seneko behind. They don't even try and play near the cliff to grab him. They just immediately run as far away to the left, away from Na'Vi. Immersion is going to find a small opening here on Always Want to Fly, which he may actually survive through. The E-Blade shot goes out. Fisher is going to be stopped by Yule Scepter from Immersion, but he's going to be pulled back to his doom. Now the Supernova is going to go out. Dream. Wow, that one shot just took a quarter of his health. That's the Enchant Totem hit.
middle tower is under attack.
Well, that's Ursa's BKB. He doesn't have his Basher yet, so he doesn't have a hope of actually fighting versus the Morphling. And yeah, we're going to watch Seneko just get ditched again.
Like, they could have played on the outpost if they wanted and tried to save him, but no. They
Probably scared of the
terrified.
X plays all the time since like every Underlord Rift has just been X'd back. I think after's like, please no.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Well, Iceberg gets a little low, but they do take the melee barracks. Still got another 3 minutes to go with the Aegis. No one's just desperately trying to cut creep waves and stop this push.
They're hunting for him though. Scans out General. He's got that Shadow Blade. That's why he bought it.
Up on the high ground. Waits for a TP. Our top of the Primal Roar. Now we've got...
And he gets X back.
Every single time, Fox, I get that song, Jump Around. It goes in my head whenever I see this Morphling or Shaker. And hey, guess what? He's getting X, so he can go ahead and be right back here into this mid lane. Bada bing, bada boom. That's a godlike spree for B.
Couldn't set up a better game for him. Like I said, it really is just cruise control. It's some of the most comfortable heroes Na'Vi has, and it's an excellent Morphling game, and they've executed. They've given like no hope to ASM Monaco to come back, as they even kill off the Basher, which maybe was a little hope for Dream to at least chain bash the Morphling in a situation. Not even gonna be able to do that.
You know
Brutal.
what? Good on AS Monaco Gambit for playing it out.
Yeah.
They I literally can't see a way for them to like win this game that borderlines in like the realms of reality, you know? Like I feel like for them to come back in this game, it would have to really silly shenanigans. But hey, God bless them, they're here and they're playing Dota and they're hoping Na'Vi will throw. But Na'Vi been slow, methodical, and very controlled in their play.
Which Na'Vi has done a lot of the games that I've gotten to see with them. We've had like, I think 2 games where Na'Vi wasn't as disciplined as normal. And as we say, see you later to Immersion quickly. A one shot coming up from the Morphling. Look how much gold V-Tune gets for that, dude. 417 when they're 24k ahead on a solo kills. Just, I don't know. There's some weird stuff with solo kills with the way the gold goes, but again,
the hunt continues. This time it's going to be the bear that gets poached.
And yeah, you're right. Big testament to ASM Monaco Gambit for staying in the game, because this is starting to get pretty brutal. Let's look at this. Oh, that's beautiful. That actually looks so cool.
He's doing a ballerina, little pirouette through the air as he starts dunking on fools. Iceberg goes ahead and shows off that he can get solo kills as well. Hello, V-Tune. Goodbye, everybody, pretty much on the side of AS Monaco Gambit as they go ahead and call the G. Yeah.
Brutal.
Absolutely brutal. Na'Vi showing that there is potentially a big difference between top 2 and the rest of the field. Europe division.
Yeah, I feel like I always see Na'Vi get themselves a draft that they're super comfortable with. I feel like some team has to start breaking them, just getting all their heroes. I either see them getting like their Enigma or Spirit, they get their
ban.
Navi's turn to ban.
Radiant team ban.
Navi's turn to ban.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Chen.
Navi's turn to pick. Mirana.
Game 2 of AS Monaco Gambit. I've got to let I'm trying.
One job.
All right, AS Monaco.
But if
Gambit.
I've said my whole life Monaco, so I have to, you
But
know,
it's wrong. You've been
relearn.
wrong
I know,
your
and
whole
I'm
life.
trying to learn, but not everybody can just, you know, snap your fingers and then
Yeah.
everything is different. Look at that, snap your fingers,
You
everything's
were wrong
different
about your
in
own
the
name,
draft.
Sheaves.
I definitely am not wrong about my own
Joreen
name.
van der Hoogen.
Definitely
Nice.
not. Thank you.
Did we get teleported into a different patch just now?
Yeah, what's happening?
Morana?
This is
Tie
amazing.
Hunter? Chen Rubik? What is this? Madness. Beastmaster, by the way, still in. Oh. We heard in the interview earlier today that Navi wants to try different things, but they never know when the right time is because they're always like, why don't we just play what works? After game 1, they're like, we gave him such a trashing. Now is the time to try something different, and that's what we're seeing right here.
Also, the key thing here is from Navi. They are first pick this time, so they aren't able to cover themselves with one of these Beastmaster type Enigma picks, and that's why we're not seeing them go for that. And of course, Monaco Gambit, they are reacting to the Chen with the classic Mirana counter because you always just arrow the creep. And then Tide Hunter is a soft cover from the idea of what Navi wants to present, which is that push.
Picking Tide into Rubik's always a little spooky, but
is
Mirana is an interesting hero because it's pretty much the pick rate depends on whether or not people like the hero at the time, because the skill set and the usage in the game is pretty much always going to be effective. It's just a question of play style. It's similar to Beastmaster. Tyga's been playing a lot of 4 Mirana. I've seen Crit play a lot of 4 Mirana, and it feels good to play. Long stun, really easy to gank. The Ags gives you a ton of creep clearing potential, and the Invis is just a free smoke every minute and a half.
And the key thing is, it's paired with an offlaner that doesn't really need help.
Yep.
But if you want to play the lane, the Gush, the Mirana, if Mirana goes for,
flood
say, a
it.
Blightstone, suddenly there's so much damage that any position 5 doesn't really have that much fun. So yeah, I actually much better open from AS Monaco, but also it is a product of being second pick. You do get to see a hero first every time before you pick one.
10 seconds.
I think it makes a lot of sense to put Tide there too, just because of the tempo that Navi's clearly going to set with Chen. They're going to be pressuring towers, and Tide's certainly one of the best heroes to counter that.
I would love to see Gambit still respect ban an Enigma still, just because of the fact that, you know, Enigma v Tide Hunter, still very
It
good
was
for
already
Enigma.
respect ban.
Oh, it's already. Oh, thank you, mate.
No problem. I don't think I got banned last game. It's not in the first phase.
So Monaco banned out Chen Shaman last time, and Na'Vi banned out Coddle Furin in the first phase. Second phase banned from Na'Vi, still the Ench, but they pushed the Batrider higher in priority.
Yeah, and they picked Beastmaster early last game, so that's why there was no Enigma ban.
Yep, exactly. Damn Enigma. For Gambit now, they are just making sure that they cover this Tide Hunter with all the carry bans that are going to make his life a little bit difficult.
Monkey King, probably soon to follow. And if you're Na'Vi, I love Chen. I love Rubik. It's probably one of my favorite support duos, a classic. Seen this pretty much dating back to when Na'Vi was first playing Dota. It's also, I think, quite nice against Tide in theory, because it's more of a dual roam. I think we'll see a lot of linkage before the 5-minute mark. and some plays to be made around the catapults. It's the big timing so far for Na'Vi here.
Voidsbury would have been very aggressive against Chan and Rubik. They would have had a little bit of difficulty dealing with them right now.
Quick question, actually. What did we think of No One's performance in the previous game? Obviously, it was his first game with the squad, or the official anyway. How do we feel he did on the puck?
Hard to say when every lane went pretty poorly in the idea of the team scenario, but
Yeah.
I guess the E-Blade itemization as well is a little bit kind of questionable with the game, but overall it's a hard game to comment because they did pretty much get walked over.
Okay, fair enough. I was just curious.
For Gambit, they now have 2 supports that are going to make the Chen feel a little bit uncomfortable with the early rotations. The CMT being into mid with the pressure can just frostbite that big creep, or you can arrow it, and it does cover them. And then, sure, there's the big.
And this is the thing. This is how much they value the hero. It's into Tide. It's into CM. One of the most annoying heroes to deal with online. They just don't care.
Just don't.
Like, General just always does so good in lane. It's kind of impressive to watch. Like, he just doesn't die. He gets pressure in. It doesn't feel like he ever gets pressured. He doesn't buy much regen either. He starts like Belt of Giant Strength and he just goes into Necro. He like, I don't know, he just like plays the lane perfectly every time. He feels like partially skilled, but also the hero is strong too. But yeah, maybe it'll be harder this game because they have so many creep counters, but
And whenever I think about Beastmaster, I just think about TI6, Game 3, DCEG, where Mu effectively just killed the enemy base, which is something we don't see typically of Beastmasters nowadays. It's not thought of as a rat hero, but it's also because the game's just developed a bit. People are more aware of the side lane pressure, but it's still something you have to consider and deal with. And the danger of these 2 supports is, while sure you can deal with creeps, you just die to a roar. So you're never really able as a Mirana to play a side lane by yourself, because the Beastmaster could just appear and before you know it, you're dead.
at least he's got leaps. Like, there's some playability. Like, if you get some distance between him and the Beastmaster, it can certainly help. But
Well, that's what the Shadow Blade, though, is really cool. You don't see that typically, but I really enjoyed watching him play it last game. You just find easy pickoffs.
okay, pretty strong hero. Solid laning. Gets pressured by Beastmaster certainly a little bit with the boar pressure, but having CM in combo with him means they can definitely go for kills on your Rubik type heroes.
Yeah, the key thing is from Gambit, they're trying to move away from the aggression that Na'Vi provides and is trying to just solidify their place at defending their fight objectives with tanky heroes. They'll prolong the fight, but Na'Vi, they capitalize on this with the Lifestealer. We've seen before, Na'Vi like picking the Lifestealer into the Wraith King simply because in the 1v1 fight, Wraith King never kills the Lifestealer, but Lifestealer slowly chunks his way through Wraith King. So it gives you a good 1v1 matchup. And now, of course, when you look at the team fight that Gambit has, Lifestealer excels in that. So rarely we see good Lifestealer games, but this is, again, one of them, just because of the carry v carry matchup and the fact that in lane, you don't also get pressured. Actually, you might get a little bit of pressure with the Gush plus the Blightstone and Mirana, but it's not that bad.
So it looks like we have the two mid heroes as the last pick here for both teams.
Radiant team ban.
Na'Vi needs another hero that can pressure, certainly, because right now, like, they've got lane pressure, but they don't gank super well until Beastmaster gets maybe a Blink or a Shadow Blade again. And Lifestealer, other than like they just lane pressure all over the place is what Na'Vi's draft does.
I'd love to see
Gambit can gank better. I feel like.
For Na'Vi, I'd love to see an objective-based hero, like a Death Rough or something. So you just have overwhelming pressure at objectives, and it forces Gambit to bring every hero there. I think with just the Beastmaster in your lineup, it's easy for Tide to move there and defend the tower alone.
Big Lifestealer fan. It's a self-sufficient core. You can get him ahead, and it's one of the few that could just kind of be in lane against Tide, never really feel pressure. Great synergy with the Beastmaster.
Don't look at me.
It's just solid drafting from Na'Vi. I'm just surprised they were given their comfort zone. I understand you've got answers to Beastmaster, but it just blows my mind that they were willing to give it to General again in the second phase. Because there's something to be said, like, there's a lot that goes into drafting, but as a concept, you've got to consider 3 main things, which is how does my lineup match up against my opponents? But more importantly, it's 2 things. I lost the third. I always say there's 3 things, even if there's only 2 sometimes. How does my team enjoy playing my heroes? And I guess, how does the other team enjoy the playstyle and heroes I've given them? And in this case, yes, Timberstone might be a better matchup, but general Beastmaster and what it does for Na'Vi and how comfortable he is on the hero outweighs a minor difference in individual hero matchup, because it gives them what they want, gives them what he wants. Who cares if it's countered?
I feel like, yeah, Na'Vi surely just goes for like a Kunkka here. Like super frontline. I mentioned tower damage earlier, but I'm thinking now, like if you move away from the towers and go for the fight, where is Gambit's early damage? They're lacking so much. They have good control, they have good presence, but like there's not that explosive damage that really is going to pick apart the supports in Na'Vi.
Radiant team pick.
Oh, let's go for a mid. Okay.
The Iceberg Doom coming out.
Now suddenly Tidehunter feels real sad, and BKB timing on Doom is just unstoppable.
And the morph for
Into Doom?
Very greedy also with Wraith and morph.
Oh yeah, that is really weird. Well,
Well,
if they
Purge,
can
you're first.
just-
Sorry.
If they can just go even and delay the game, yes, Monaco Gambit should be able to win. But yeah, it's a little greedy. Morphling against Doom is actually kind of cool though, because Morphling's gonna have such huge base damage. After the first couple levels, outside of like getting Doom and killed, I think he should be able to outlast it Doom. Maybe out farm.
I think this lane goes pretty well for Morphling, just for the fact that you have good right click. You always waveform it out. Of course, you have the fact that you can Doom the Morphling later on into the game, but you have the Wraith King as well. You've got this Tidehunter. Like, there's so many heroes that you want to Doom. The eventual greed will work well for them, but again, it's greed against Na'Vi. Na'Vi have high pressure, so
Yeah.
The concern is, have we seen no one play Morphling like in his career? It's not his typical hero. They would put Ramses on it and he'd go mid.
he has played it
This isn't his
before.
play
He
style.
likes like the bottle rush Morphling. He has tried it out, and it has had some good success, but it's simply just a very greedy lineup.
Purge, final words. Are we going to see game 3?
No,
No.
it's over. GG.
Oh,
Everyone
okay.
go home.
All right, going to a break. More adverts,
right.
please.
No, not yet, Kyle. Okay, so what needs to go absolutely right for AS Monaco Gambit?
Lanes. Their lanes have to be advantageous. They can't make plays. Like Tidehunter and Wraith King are going to be rotating around. Like they don't have a natural way to enter the mid game from the lane. They want to extend the laning phase and have it be an advantage for them, and somehow deal with this Doom Chen that are going to run around the map at each catapult wave.
Yeah, they have to defend their towers early on. When you have the Morphling and the Wraith King, they eventually will scale really well. Morphling does exceptionally well against Lifestealer. You just become him, have rage. But if you lose your early towers, you lose your jungle, not enough space.
All right, it's all about the early game, all about the laning stage. Let's see how this second game is going to play itself out together with Cap and Fogged.
Well, Fogged, you called it. You told me Iceberg Doom, and that's exactly what it turned out to be. Do you feel good about that prediction, seeing the Morphling as an attempt at a counter on the other side? I don't know how I feel about it.
Yep, I think it looks beautiful. I was just like screaming, I'm in my chair just like messaging JJ too, messaging him like they're 100% picking Doom here. It breaks the whole lineup. If you Doom the Tidehunter, there's literally zero team fight on ASM Gambit versus a heavy pressure lineup that's going to be coming out from Na'Vi. I'm very concerned. I'll be totally honest. I feel like if the lanes start going poorly, I don't know who's going to make space. Because Morphling and Wraith King, they soak up so much space if they start to fall behind at all. And then the whole game is going to be dependent on this Tidehunter's movements. And that's where I feel like Doom's game is just... Because then it's a Tidehunter walking into you. You're getting given the opportunities to go for these Dooms. So I'm pretty sad for ASM Gambit, but at the same time too, if they can weather that early game, if they can weather that mid game, then they do scale incredibly hard. Morphling, Wraith King, they will get to a point where they are ridiculous. The Morphling turns into Lifestealer, gets free rage and all that, but they have to get to that point. And versus Beastmaster Chen, it can be very hard to play for these groups.
So this all starts for AS Monaco Gambit. In order to be able to win this game, it all starts with the lane, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't they have to have Tidehunter against the Beastmaster? Isn't that like required here?
At least they do have the CM and... Wait, sorry, what was that? Apologies. The Beastmaster, or the Tide versus the Beastmaster, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Like, CM can actually help a little bit too, so... I think these lanes are okay, and they also then they're gonna have the Mirana versus Chen, so they're getting those matchups. Soneko actually goes for the Nova level 1 instead of the Bite, so they actually just get the board and eye.
Yeah, good play by
might go for the
What a Fly Nord. It's gonna be playing kind of as the 4 position here, seeing as he's not really overlapping disables just a tad bit here, and always What a Fly will get out. But Yeah, the fact that they gave General Beastmaster again and then grabbed 3 cores that all need farm. I mean, they lost that last game within like the first 10 minutes, you know? Like, I'm concerned about them getting run over again in the first place before the Doom was even picked down. Then it just makes that much worse.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I can't believe how they just went so greedy. But I know that it's an old school like VP thing that they used to think about. That's why I feel like it had to have been no one asking for this, because they used to do this all their games. They saw Doom picked and they would instantly respond with more. They used to be a like true staple of VP. So maybe he just really wanted to have that matchup. Maybe he feels like he can do a lot in the game too. At the lane, you know, it can go pretty well for him. So maybe he can transition and be that space maker as a Morphling. I'm not seeing it so much, but maybe he sees it better of what plays he can make and punish around them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he functions as this mid Morphling, as no one does have a career of playing that a decent amount, but surprisingly, he actually doesn't have that positive of win rate with it. He's actually 22 games, 50% exactly. So,
Okay.
Considering the fact that obviously no one has a much larger than 50% win rate on most of his heroes, considering his success on Virtus Pro. Nice blood there for General as he comes across.
Oh, the courier
and
too?
He gets the courier. Alrighty then.
God. Always Want to Fly just baited the hell out of Seneko with a Fairy Fire. He really thought he had him. Gets played. At least they did pull the Beastmaster out of the lane, so we're seeing Wraith King farming really well. So that's one fortunate thing that we are seeing for Gambit.
Nope.
And look, another one.
Get that Rubik kill anyway.
The hell was Always Want to Fly doing stepping back up? Didn't he have like 1 HP?
Yeah, kinda. Ooh, that was a close call. V-Tune. I think they know he doesn't have rage, so they tried to get a gush arrow onto him and might have been able to kill him. It would have been a close call. He still has 5 stick charges to, but it seems like this top lane's going pretty well. I wasn't sure if that was going to be good for a Tidehunter, this new Lifestealer. I'm not sure how that matchup goes, but it seems to be all right.
Yeah, it seems like I'm seeing Navi liking the matchup a lot in comparison to what it used to be. You know, Open Wounds isn't a spell anymore, so your passive actually works really nicely versus Tide.
All right.
Another, oh, what the?
Always Want to Fly just cannot seem to keep himself alive in this series. So, well, another Crystal Nova into the Ray Fire Blast, and it gets very deadly when you start getting those higher levels of crit up on the Wraith King.
Yeah. Always Want to Fly. Remember, you're the 4 position in this game. You know, Roger, he's the Chen player for your team. Seeing the battle up top, the Blightstone plus the Gush going versus V2, it is working pretty well. That damage is starting to push him away. Wonder if he gets the Chainmail to start just to counteract that minus armor.
Yeah. Chainmail. Wonder if you consider the raid level 4 as well. Icebergs. Yep. Very close call. No one trying to make those trades because it is very efficient with the mid Morphling with the bottom build.
Yeah. Iceberg always finds the Alpha Wolf. Every game that we've been casting him, he always is able to find either the Alpha Wolf or he gets the Ogre Creep. He's always able to find it. So it doesn't seem like RNG at this point as V-Tune.
Rage gets used here. The arrow's going to go out. It will be dodged by V2.
Radiant are scanning.
But I saw that 2 salves in his backpack for the Mirana, so they are well prepared to keep up this pressure onto the Tidehunter, or onto the Lifestealer.
Yeah, and so far so good. You know, looking at the last hits especially, they're doing a good job right now of at least putting pressure. Morphling is free farming, getting those extra denies too, so he'll have a good level advantage over Doom, and he will slow down Iceberg's game. So this is exactly what ASM Gambit does need to do in the game. At least start here. Get advantage lanes, advantage in the lanes, and then make something happen with it. So you don't fall behind versus Beastmaster. We'll take over the game.
Iceberg still doing a pretty good job when it comes to CSing. Morphling, he's a bit behind, but not by that much, and he'll probably get the level 6 around the same time, and then he can start becoming a real threat to the Morph.
Yeah, no one just has to be quick on his fingers to get that morph off. Iceberg can play around the tree line, though. That's one thing that always does catch those morphs off guard. He'll get the Doom from out of vision for a second. I feel like they've been doing a good job bottom of killing the Boris, too. I keep seeing these like tips and Seneko playing aggressive, so I think they're actually slowing down General quite a lot down here. His book 1 is still almost finished, though. 5 minutes, so it's going to be early anyway.
Wonder how much regen they've been ferrying out for the Wraith King. It seems like they've been pretty liberal in the usage of the Wraith Fire Blast. They've kept it
Yeah.
at level 1, so its mana cost is rather low, but still, I would have to imagine maybe just a want is, I guess, enough.
Might be. CM also, that's the... I feel like if you play CM, you want to buy like 10 mangoes or something in the laning phase just to feed to yourself, feed to your teammates, because your spells are expensive, and that's really all CM... That's the way CM is the best, is just your laning phase. That's why she's been being picked so much, because of how powerful her 2 spells are combined. So, feeding mangoes, and we're seeing that slow coming in. You can't... There's no open wounds. That constant slow is very annoying for a Tidehunter.
Yeah, especially when you added 2 more slows on top of it, both the Ghost and the Vul there. Applying its poison, waveform over, keeping the pressure up on Iceberg, seeing if they could do as much damage as possible to the tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, bottom lane is a mess of skeletons and boars and Necronomicon minions. So it's full-on zoo out here, and it's a zoo that apparently Dream is the zookeeper of. Getting another kill on this lane and is now level 6.
Seneko gives his life. He kills the book so that his Wraith King can persist and push forward. I like that little sacrifice play. Iceberg threatening that doom onto no one over and over again.
Keeps on pump faking it.
And yeah, there's the chainmail picked up. So Vtune not eating as much harass, but hey, he is getting slowed down. Tidehunter able to free farm it, able to farm pretty nicely, and Wraith King, he's getting more than free farm. Getting all these extra kills for himself now, but the book is applying some pressure onto him.
Go for it. Always want to fly. He's gonna die again here. The Fate Bolt goes down. Is not enough damage reduction to keep him alive. And Dream, he does have mana to work with here, so Iceberg's rotation is all for naught.
Dire structures.
And no one can just beat on the tower with his illusion rune. Immersion's also in the area too. He can beat on it too. That is a pretty failed rotation for sure. And this, ASM Monaco, this is exactly how they should be playing the game. This is the dream for them, really. Having Wraith King and Morphling getting this farm with this greedy draft, a 2k advantage already.
Nice.
And of course, Iceberg gets denied. Nicely done.
Down by about 500 compared to his counterpart. I stick somewhat close to even here. See, the big difference, though, is between Wraith King and the Lifestealer.
Yeah. Book 1 gets summoned. They just frostbite it in place. Dream kills it off and gets an extra 50 gold for himself, too. They're done. Super early on, already killed 2 Necro minions.
Yeah, it's amazing. I guess like boars, CM is really interesting in this matchup because if you kill enough early boars, they give up so much experience. You get the higher levels, you get the higher levels, you get the higher levels of the aura, and then you could just spam even more, killing more boars.
Yeah.
It's a weird kind of cycle that you can go through in this.
Yeah, and Seneko is instantly biting that, red Necro book, that melee Necro book every single time. So it just gets killed right when it's summoned. It's actually just giving gold. General might just wait till the 2nd level of it before he does send it out again. But still, the same thing's going to happen. It's going to get bit and probably just killed immediately. So they have to play aggressive with it right away if he does summon his book from now on. Seeing no one making the first move out of the mid lane.
All right, this is going to be quite the combo here. They're going to have to Ravage into the arrow. It does land. Very nice. AS Monaco Gambit score a big kill, and no one's rotation is not only going to help them get the carry kill on V2, but also take this tower. Oh, my.
That is a large stacks here.
That makes it even more concerning, though. If they take this tier 1 tower and they start, invading into the jungle a little bit, if Tide finds those stacks, then that's going to be disastrous for Na'Vi.
They're swinging over. And the thing is, too, is Na'Vi, who clears those stacks at a fast speed? They don't have a Shadow Fiend. They don't have a Titan or anything like that. It's a lot harder, a lot slower for them to clear in comparison.
Immersion. Pop. He's trying to stay ahead of V2. V2 is slightly faster, though. We'll get that final swipe to get the kill. So the supports, both supports on the side of Gambit do end up going down here, but I believe the knowledge, I think they're aware of this. Let's see how Iceberg is able to clear through this. No one's in the area, so it looks like they are going to be fine. They are going to get all this.
All right, nice. And they just used the Scorcher to kill it off. So that's the best AoE spell that I guess they did have to be able to clear it. So he'll have a good timing on his drum anyway.
Yeah, only able to do one of those camps, though. Take another round. It's another small chance that maybe no one is in the area and takes some of that precious.
Dream already has an armlet done, and that is unbelievably fast. Phase armlet, it's 10 minutes. He's over 550 GPM at this point on this Wraith King. That is A fantastic start for them with what felt would be a pretty decent pressure lane versus them, but the CM Wraith King, they persisted very nicely versus this Beastmaster.
Yeah, it certainly helps. They've taken 2 tier 1 towers already, but there's potentially a third one on the market here. I mean, Wraith King is such a natural at being able to pressure the lane that he's in. They managed to get another successful team fight in this bottom wave, especially with Siege Wagon coming in. That could be yet another tower, and Dream, he may even peak all the way up to 600 G.
Yeah, with the greedy draft, they're the ones who are actually dictating the pace and able to pressure the lanes and towers. You know, the Beastmaster lineup's not able. The Beastmaster Chen lineup is the one who's getting their tower sieged at the moment. Always want to fly. We'll arrow the catapult to at least slow it down. But again, there's the book too. Another melee necro book does go down. Another 100 gold. Really good stuff from Gambit right now.
Trying to deal with the Chen army as well, man. It is so valued that they have 2 supports that can just kill either Necronomicon minions or Chen army. Like, just got very low committal ways to be able to clear through some stuff on the ground.
And they're putting pressure on all the lanes. Afterlife is pushing in mid. They're still pushing bottom slightly versus the Beastmaster. And no one, he's taking all the space for himself. It's a really good Morphling game if he's able to get away with this. The biggest threat for him is really just Doom. He's not really a threat of these constant stuns or disables. No silences besides that Doom either. So yeah, he's got a pretty free game if he's able to get this farm. And yeah, they've weathered the storm of that early game, which definitely is a bit concerning here for Na'Vi now going forward.
Radiant's middle tower is
It's like they were kind of setting up there, seeing if they could get V-Tune. He goes up into the high ground. Let's talk about Lifestealer a little bit. I'm sure you watched the Nigma versus Viking GG series, right? That was where we saw... bottom lane. They do manage to catch Chris. Nothing made. What is sort of the timings of the new Lifestealer? What are we looking at?
He has this decent thing where he can get his Maelstrom. It's this exact timing that he's going for, this like S and Y plus Maelstrom thing, where you do feel strong when you're fighting in these long duration team fights. But he still is a little bit weird. He definitely feels like a stranger actual carry at the moment. Because he's not like this big instant damage or anything. It's just like long duration team fights. If you don't die, you're able to thrive if you're not versus these counters. But he is versus some counter. You know, that Morphling can man fight versus him, unlike the Wraith King.
Only a 2,000 net worth lead, thanks in part to all of these stacks that Roger has been doing. So Iceberg, a really big comeback. His net worth is about even with the Morphling. TP down to the bottom lane with a stolen arrow. Always want to fly. He's going to try and TP out, but an arrow in turn from Immersion is going to put a stop to that. And now, oh my goodness, General,
what the? He's deep.
Yeah, what was he doing here? This was some wild attempt to be able to catch somebody around the tier 2. I'm not sure if he was expecting like Morphling kill when he's like full agility underneath tier 2 tower or what that was, but either way, they both die.
That's 4 deaths now for the Rubik. 4 out of the 7. Again, always want to fly, just giving up a lot this game. And their Chen, you know, Roger, he's been very quiet. He's just been sitting back, kind of stacking, not really looking to make any plays. Yeah, 7-5, 2K advantage. Na'Vi under the gun themselves now, as this Ravage is a big threat for them.
Afterlife still needs another 1,000 gold for the Blink Dagger, but he is still plenty farmed with the Orb of Corrosion plus the addition of the Morbid Mask. When you're matched up against these Master Chen heroes that have, again, so much stuff on the ground, an Anchor Smash can be a really big source of regeneration.
Wow, they're actually going to try to go for this Rosh. If they get this Rosh, that's going to be really problematic for Na'Vi. I don't know how they're going to be able to defend versus these pushes that are going to come out when Afterlife is set up around his team. Like, their team fight on Na'Vi, it's strong if they get the Doom on the Tide, but if they don't get the Doom on the Tide, the team fight is just going to be a disaster. And Afterlife, he knows this. He's positioning himself far on the left side.
General is going to come into the side. They've got the vision of Afterlife here, so they can kind of see a way to fight, but they can't really pull the trigger on it, apparently. They're just going to have to give up the Aegis to no one.
Uh-oh. And look at no one's item build. He's preparing for getting doomed. Going for that status resist build, just some nice stats, too. Yeah, no, we do see ASM Monaco. They are setting themselves up for success in these next few moments of the game. Just to keep applying this pressure, slowing down Na'Vi's game plan, and the greed is really paying off.
You know, I haven't thought about this, but I guess with the new Satanic, or rather just purely the fact that it's not the old Satanic, Doom is probably a lot better in the game. Right? Because it was used to be everybody would just get S and Y Satanic on all these carries because status resist plus lifesteal. Pretty insane, but no longer have that same kind of option. Stolen Leap, but Always Want to Fly doesn't have a whole lot of mana to work with. He's got 2 more charges. Stay away from the arrow. TP out. This time around, Always Want to Fly will survive.
Seems like the first time he's actually survived the gank. As General is able to put some pressure bottom during that space being made, and they get to breathe a little bit as we will see V-Tune get some farm, and we will see Iceberg get a BKB. So now he has a little bit of easier access to walk into these fights, because as we do see, there's so many spells, so many different forms of control for that Doom just walking in. With BKB, he actually can pick and choose his target that he wants to go for. But in playing into Aegis, Na'Vi probably going to want to be a little bit hesitant about how they do jump, unless they see everybody pretty split up. Right now, Afterlife is all the way down bottom, away from his team.
Looks like a trade-off here, potentially tier 2 for the mid-tier 1. Of course, Na'Vi very happy to be able to take this tower, but they won't be happy if they lose out on the outpost experience at 20 minutes as giving up that tier 2. They definitely got to generate some sort of game plan for the next.
Guess the game plan is going to be Iceberg run at the outpost to zone them away with his BKB. That's Roger. He's found here by no one. The Roar does go up on the north. It looks like an immersion. While Roger does get chased out, he will bait the Hand of God. Okay, so he'll use Hand of God. Iceberg will get Seneko. 2 supports down for 1.
Not terrible, but they can't keep fighting because of the BKB that is down, plus the Aegis that is up. And no one turning into the Rubik. Get him and toss back there. Telekinesis is enough for Afterlife to arrive. Train 2 for 2 for supports, and they can take that outpost back if they want.
V-Tune's gonna need a lot of time before he's ever able to actually fight in this game. It feels like versus the Morphling. They actually might be able to find Afterlife. Does get the blink away though, so positioning not too close to tower. But yeah, I feel like he's gonna have to wait until he honestly has like, if he goes for the S&Y, it's like S&Y Scotty Basher. Like the Scotty will help a lot if he's able to get it first to morph at some point, but no one's starting to prepare for all this too. He's just going for Butterfly, going for this dodge, for that evasion versus the lifesteal too, so he can stand toe to toe. Might be too much for V-Tune to deal with. The greed, as we said, is paying off for Gambit. These 2 cores might be too much for the lifestealer to actually deal with. So yeah, Iceberg is really gonna have to get these good Doom targets in the upcoming fights that will kick off.
And it's a little bit concerning that because you have this Doom Tidehunter matchup, they want to be able to get the Doom on the Tidehunter, prevent the Ravage, but then it does kind of mean that Morphling has sort of a free game in a lot of these team fights if the Lifestealer, as you said, can't address him with enough items.
It's just too many things that are going to be collapsing on. Like the Wraith King is farming too well as well, so now it's like, who does Iceberg actually really want to Doom? You know, you never want to Doom a Wraith King, but in a situation where he gets a reincarnate off, maybe you Doom him afterwards if Tidehunter wastes the Ravage. There's just a lot of targets that they have to worry about now because of how this early game has gone. Dream is a big problem. Like I cannot, he is just so farmed on this Wraith King. He's been given absolute freedom in this game. Well over that 500 GPM.
Slowing down General, Seneko. Fortunately, thanks to that Frostbite, he does have ways to deal with the warrior. I was running at him. General's rapid escape out of here has forced a lot of rotations from AS Monaco Gambit up to this top lane. Left no one still here since he does still have the Aegis. Farmed up a bit of the try. Not pushing himself too far out there.
Yeah, they pushed him out of the outpost. They're able to reclaim it there. They have 30 seconds to get it back on Na'Vi. It's going to be really hard for them to actually swing over here with their book still on cooldown, I believe, for a moment. As well as General isn't even walking up there.
They need a big pickoff, and maybe they've just got it with the arrow. A fast kill that is potentially going to trade out supports. Always Want to Fly is going to get gone on by Dream. Oh, that was a big crit that came through. TP out from V2, and then, yeah, Gambit, they just park themselves up here, ensuring that they will get that experience advantage off the outpost.
Hey, they're doing all the things right. It feels like Na'Vi doesn't have a solution to this. You know, that early game going bad has really halted their entire idea of the game, and now they have to play into the greed. Like I was saying, V2, he has to wait for his next like 1-2 items, but that's playing into what ASM just wants to. They want to just be able to play the greed and play the farm. As now they're able to pressure during all this too with this advantage.
Structures are fortified.
V-Tune pulling the creep wave back. They're going to pop the glyph here to deal with the next incoming wave and see with playing a bit greedy themselves and not forcing a whole lot of people to defend, seeing if they can get that tier 2 bottom lane. Rotations come in though from Afterlife and from Dream. They're going to catch Roger. Problem here is that crit. Not enough to one-shot him there at half health, but close enough.
Tower is under attack.
Right now he just has to, this is the way that they have to play because of that early game. They're just splitting up. Iceberg now has Blink with the BKB, so he can jump in and pick the targets a lot easier, but still seeing that it's quite difficult for them. You know, V2, I don't think that he's just ready. I think he just really needs to wait, unfortunately, for a Scotty where he's actually able to fight toe-to-toe versus these two, because it's a pretty big pickup if he is able to get it versus the Wraith King Lifestealer versus the Morphling Shift.
Middle tower is under
It'll actually make his damage look relevant in the fights, as it really does feel like they're going to be severely lacking damage as the book dies every single time. And yeah, I don't see where else the damage really comes from unless it is the Lifestealer.
Taking the outpost back, Sineko, though, immediately charging up here. They're going to pop the Moonlight Shadow, just seeing if they can slow down pretty much anybody, or anything, I guess. General is going to be caught by Dream. Shows himself, casual 657 damage crit. Starts things off.
bottom tower is under attack.
Good old M Claw.
Radiant structures.
Or sorry, that's Lifestealers.
Well, they're going to see again if they can take this tier 2 bottom. They're desperate because once they do manage to take a tier 2, they can start taking that outpost, and it does help limit the kind of punishment that Gambit exerts. And they do.
Dire's top tower is
They've
under
kept the net worth decently close, but you're seeing, yeah, Gambit, they're feeling that power spike. The Butterfly and the Morphling now, too. They're just walking up on the high ground. They're forcing Na'Vi back, and General's still dead 10 seconds.
Yeah, it
Na'Vi.
seems like they're going to give up a lane.
Radiant's bottom tower
I think they just might have to. I really feel like the Lifestealer just stands no hope of fighting until he does have that item picked up. And yeah, there's just Gambit being very happy about it.
Take the melee barracks and back up Roger. Same as last time. May get got here as they try and leap in with the arrow. Doesn't quite get it. His army is going to get...
Okay, how much gold from summons do we have now? Let's take a look. I've seen so many necro books, so many creeps die this game. I feel like they're just getting so rich.
Okay. 649
amount of pets.
pets.
Shabby, not too shabby. CM getting a wow. CM's gotten a lot of those.
Another
And there's the
1100.
look at that necro gold.
Okay.
1100.
So we're at what, 1800 now?
Yeah.
Afterlife.
Ooh, General. Ooh.
I'm not even sure if they could have done a whole lot to him, but might have forced out the Ravage or something. Meanwhile, Gambit gonna play for that second Roshan. That second Roshan, their cue to maybe potentially end the game, as 2 lanes of barracks is going to be pretty hard to fight back from. That's why Na'Vi, this is a Roshan they must contest.
Can they get the Doom on the Tide is the question, or which target does Iceberg go for?
Smoke in, Ravage up, already up to the Morphling. The Aegis is going to be picked up, and the Primal Roar actually knocks Dream outside of the engagement there, so they've just completely taken out the Morphling out of this, and now they're going to try and slow people down with no buyback on to no one. It's possible that Na'Vi can continue this fight. They got to be careful, though, of that Ravage. Afterlife turns around, 2-man Ravage, catches 2 more on the outside, a 4-man there with the Starstorm coming in, looking to try and finish up Iceberg, because he does manage to grab the cheese, eats that immediately. An arrow pops over onto Dream, slowing him down, but now it's Na'Vi who have to try and escape away from Gambit's wrath. Dream on the front lines, just chopping fools down. He brings 2 cores and a 3rd in V-Tune. He's going to start getting away. V-Tune's actually going to pop back in here, see if he can get a fast kill onto Immersion. Pops the Rage, gets 1, drops the gem, doesn't manage to pick it up. He had a TP immediately. A smart little play. Meanwhile, Afterlife went by himself.
Okay.
Nice
How
arrow.
did they get Afterlife? Yeah, I guess.
Always want to fly catching that one.
Okay. That actually doesn't make it that bad for Na'Vi that they get that last cleanup kill there. Still showing that it's very tough for them to fight, even a 4v5, where they do have a cheese, as Dream... V2 can't fight versus him. He's not at that point. He doesn't have the items to be able to deal with this man, and it's going to take a couple more for this Lifestealer to actually be able to address this, and that's what we were concerned about, right? Like, he gets a phenomenal Doom, but there's just there's a lot of other threats that Na'Vi has to worry about because of how this entire 20 something minutes. That was the first Doom, right?
Yep. That was, I remember a lot of pump faking of Dooms. I remember a lot of iceberg rotations that didn't actually result in a Doom because Gambit was ready for it. That was the first Doom that I can recall, at least a useful one, a big one.
Yep. Tune?
Damn it. Oh, thank goodness he did pop the rage there. Otherwise, it might have been an awkward situation getting arrowed
Dire's
immediately.
middle tower is under attack.
B-Tune's still too far behind these two cores to really be able to stand and fight them. Like, he needs Scotty, which we've been saying a bunch, but now it's also feeling like he needs the next item. He needs the MKB, because this evasion that's coming on 1-0, the radiance, this miss is also being applied. It just feels like they can only kill the target. They can only kill a couple targets depending on the Doom target. But these two other cores, they're always a problem. It's only one of the cores that you're going to be able to take out with that big Doom. The other two, just, you don't have the damage to deal with.
They're going to go again. They managed to get the, oh, this time he managed to get off the more strength. So it's going to be a hard kill here. But fortunately, the Lifestealer is very adept at being able to bring down these big tanky targets as he sticks on top of them. But V2, he went in. Now he's got to get out, but he doesn't have it infest. The Primal Roar goes down. V2 running for his life to the right-hand side. Arrow isn't going to land, but he doesn't manage to stay alive. Just a little bit too much. They kill some of the backline heroes. Saneko's going to be the first one to fall here. Iceberg moving up to the left-hand side, hoping to be able to dodge and get his blink off, but the Radiance is sticking to him. They're not going to let him get away. Not with the gem that was dropped on the ground. They pick that one up, and Dream will continue to take this by himself, apparently. They say, yeah, they can deal with the Morphling, as you pointed out, Fogged, multiple times, but there's multiple threats on the board.
Yeah, great early game, honestly. That was the biggest thing. I think bottom for Na'Vi went way too chaotic. Rubik and the Beastmaster just giving up a insane amount of gold really to Dream and just enable him to get what? This insanely fast armlet, a very fast radiance, and then there's too many threats. Iceberg, he gets the Dooms on the mort, but there's those triple threats that he has.
remaining. Navi's turn
Radiant
to
team
ban.
ban.
Navi's turn to ban.
Radiant team ban.
Navi's turn to pick.
We talked about it. We heard our players say it as well. They consider this, and we consider this to be the battle, most likely for second place. Very important because first place goes to the playoffs, second place to group stages, third place to the wild card of the major. And this series could very well be indeed that deciding series for who takes second place here in the ESL 1 powered by Intel Eastern European DPC League. We're in the third game. We got Purge helping us with the draft. We got Kyle Tigov here as well. And looking forward to seeing this third game of AS Monaco Gambit taking on Navi. Guys, we've seen two teams win dominantly. It is all about the laning stage. Our commentators talked about it as well. Is it all about laning stage? Are we going to see this drafting, this third game draft, be revolving around picking up strong lanes?
It's over.
What?
Wrap it up. I'm going home.
No. If
We'll
Gambit
cap.
picks the Tidehunter, we're in a good spot. Coming back.
Yeah.
Bring it back, Carl. Bring it back.
Okay.
You see it? You see it? We see it. More importantly, Gambit, they had priority. They chose Radiant for this game. Therefore, Navi, they then actually decided to go for first pick as well. So Navi opting to try and get that Shaker straight into the mix. I agree.
I hope that we see an immediate pick.
Navi's turn
Yes.
to ban.
You have to assume if you give away Shaker,
Ban.
you know they're going to get the Beastmaster most likely. Monaco have to be prepared. And they were. They take the edge.
Sure.
Yeah, that was the crucial thing in both of the lanes, actually, was that they just had supports in both lanes that could deal with creeps. There's a Chen in one lane. They had Miranda to deal with it. And then the other lane, it was Beastmaster. They had CM to deal with it. So clearly they prefer Enchantress over CM in that circumstance. That's why they picked in the first phase here.
It was banned second phase in the previous game.
And the game before that too.
Yeah, I like that a lot, actually, because while we are a little predisposed to believe Earthshaker and Beastmaster are excellent picks, which they are, if you can guarantee, in a way, the enemy's opener and have your own dream response already prepared, that's a pretty significant advantage moving forward. Something Puppy loves to utilize, much to his fans' chagrin at times, when he allows things like Bounty Hunter to be picked 3 times in a row against him. We're not going to talk about that.
I think the key thing though for this one is with the Enchantress.
Yeah.
It forces the Beastmaster to think about maybe going for the axe build rather than the boar. And also, it's are you going to lane the Beastmaster into the Enchantress? Could there be an aggro trialing situation where you just kind of sack the Beastmaster in the safe lane?
It's tough. You got an Earthshaker. You don't really want to aggro tri-lane. This is something that Lanham might be willing to do, but people have lost the fundamentals.
Yep.
It's like the death of the post game in the NBA. It's something that you know, it's still effective, but it's just not taught anymore. Everybody's jacking
10
threes.
seconds remaining.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Carl.
Somebody out there does, and I'm talking to you at home. You understand me, and I appreciate you.
How about you, Purge? Do you know what he's talking about?
No clue.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Talking about balls and hoops or something. No idea.
Shooting 3-pointers, but I don't know keeps picking characters that we don't know.
Yeah. Whew.
Right,
They-
so
I'm
what do
curious
we
they
want to
banned,
see banned?
Surprised about the Lifestealer slightly. It didn't feel that effective, but I guess if they don't have Tide, they might not feel as confident.
I think they're also thinking about, as a first phase is position 5, there isn't going to be that BKB piercing stun coming from that 5 as well. And potentially when you look at the rotations into that safe lane, Lifestealer is a very good carry at just parking in front of the tower and defending it if there's no kind of repellent.
Ban.
Yeah, that's true. And they have a puck, I suppose. So
Yep.
at like any early gank, as soon as the silence ends, you just rage and run.
Yep, exactly. And the same kind of principle for the Kunkka as well. If you want to look to mid lane, this hero pretty much doesn't die to a puck plus ent rotation because, you know, the run buff and the natural double bracer build with phase boots are very, very tanky.
Question, is this one of the first times that we've seen Navi draft without, like I might have just missed him, without Mag in the background?
No, he is there. He's
there.
He is there.
Where is he? I don't
If we
see
just-
him.
we-
Other angle.
Yeah, we need a new angle.
New angle?
Next. No, it didn't happen that way. Oh,
He's behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
the,
not him.
No, it's behind him.
yeah, I think behind the hair of Iceberg, he might just be
Yeah.
on the fringe. Yeah.
We actually zoomed in on the back.
Oh, no, we've gone to a new
no.
angle. Oh,
Is that his elbow?
Radiant team.
potentially could be. All right. Somehow Mag is completely hidden within this draft.
Yeah. Was just curious. Obviously, we know, as far as we know anyway, Gambit doesn't have a coach, or do they?
They have a kind of coach-manager situation.
Okay.
You know a lot about those.
Was it Feel My Pain?
Yeah, exactly. In these stacks, you obviously don't have the depth to have everything in the
Indeed.
in the department.
You gotta be a
so-
jack of all trades, you know? They can't get
Yep.
4 people for 4 different
that's
jobs.
true, Yeah.
Just one guy.
I forgot to say master of none, but it's fine. You didn't.
Thanks for filling it in.
No, that's right. I got you. So they go for the Earth Spirit with the puck. Earth Spirit's very good with puck, of course, with the coil, the rotation on mid, and backline jump to get the Earth Spirit.
Navi's turn
Ooh.
to pick.
Ooh.
Very quick drafting.
Very
Very
quick
quick.
drafting indeed.
Gambit's like, we don't want to give the Morphling away. We need to pick it ourselves.
They already, so yeah, both teams kind of had an idea, I think, of what the enemy side was willing to do here. The V-Tune PL, a special. I like that a lot more than his Lifestealer. Really nice synergy with the draft they have so far. The illusions provide a ton of vision for glimpses to come through, and it's a lot of just annoying damage to deal with. These supports hate playing against PL.
The nice thing about this pick, though, from Gambit is simply the fact that they can flex between the mid and the safe lane, depending on what does come into play. This Lina ban indicates most likely mid with a last pick carry. You flip over to Na'Vi, their instant response to the PL was just because to the Morphling was the PL, simply because it is a hard counter to it. But they need to make sure they cover it because there's still this additional core pick coming into play if it deals with the illusions cleanly.
No, it's not as out. That's general.
Yeah, correct. That is general. Yeah, Mag is missing.
Mag, no, he was there. He's literally just behind General. He's on whoever.
No, behind general is
Whoever he's next to, whoever I think Seneko, or not Seneko, the PC next to General. Mag was sitting next to that guy in the previous game.
Yep.
He's
No, he
there.
was.
He's in the room.
Okay. I trust you.
He just doesn't need to be in camera shot, you know? He's got all the
Exactly.
stacks of papers.
He's
and
worried about wins,
Yeah.
not recognition
There we go,
or
yeah.
making it known that he's involved in coaching.
Yeah. But he is the coach, guys.
Yeah.
That is
Let
Mag.
it be known.
remaining.
I like the last 2 bans for Navi here, just trying to protect the PL, who already matches up well against enemy heroes, but could be weak in lane. One place that's a little dangerous for him.
I think right now, Underlord is a insanely good pick for Gambit. You just put the puck mid, the Morphling into carry roll, pick up this big Underlord, you pressure the PL in the lane, you deal with the Beastmaster pressure as well. There is only one source of tower push, therefore park Underlord in front. Game becomes pretty good.
My only concern is that it's a little slow. Like the lane with Earth Spirit isn't great, and I think you might want something that's a bit more active. It's a bit odd, but I think LC could be really effective. Both cores, if they get cleansed, are just immediately saved, and it is my favorite hero to play against PL.
But a big
Sounds
lack of
still
damage,
true.
in my opinion. Like, it might
There's
feel nice for...
Disruptor ulti too. That
True.
won't save him.
Radiant team pick.
They go for the Doom himself. Okay, so... Ooh.
Again, the Doom.
I love this idea from Na'Vi, though, because it potentially forces... Okay, let's go for a straight PA. Okay.
Choose your hero.
So it is just going to be the mid Morphling into Doom once again. Now it's off lane puck.
Yeah, it's all gonna be that Axe Doom timing, though. My God, the PA just gets wrecked. No evasion, no crit when doomed with Ags. Like that's just game over.
Which draft do you prefer, Kyle?
God, I think Na'Vi this time. Their lanes just so strong. Off lane puck into PL Disruptor. Good luck.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to kill Disruptor a lot, though. I feel like they can actually pressure with those 2 heroes. It makes me more confident in their lineup, especially because they can put Morphling against Doom again. Like the issues last game. I mean, it'll be easier for Doom to Doom people this game because they've got Glimpse. Because that was the issue every time. It's like he wanted to Doom, but they were always like 400 units away from his tower, which made it rough. So I think it's going to be a lot closer for sure. And if Na'Vi does good rotations in the early mid, they should blow this game out of the water with their better tempo.
All right.
So lane specific.
Thank you very much, Perch. We'll come back to you at the end of the game. Calvin talked about laning stage a lot. Is this going to be a more even laning stage, or is anybody forced to come out of there at least, decent? Is anybody going to lose if they lose a laning stage?
I think both teams have pressure to perform.
Yeah.
I feel like the Doom PL just kind of scale exponentially in this game. When you hit the Ags timing and a PL suddenly becomes too tanky, you just can't do a damn thing as AS Monaco Gambit anymore.
Yep, pretty much. When the PL gets to kind of the heart, and then the Doom has like BKB Ag Shivas, it pretty much mitigates what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
on the side of Gambit. But
They're out of damage. Like
Exactly.
the Ench, the Earth Spirit, the Puck, it's all XP based. It's just the Morph and PA that are going to scale.
they just have a nice window early on. But both teams have proved that if they win the lanes, they can just take over the entire game. So I hope it's just a close game 3 and it isn't as simple as win lanes win the game.
I also hope it will be a close third game to this series, and I'm sure our commentary team does as well. Wouldn't that be fun, right, Captain Fogged?
Listen, Cheever, don't jinx it, all right? Every single time we get these series, one-sided game 1, goes the other way to game 2, we always say, well, that means game 3, it's going to be even matchup, right? Fucked. And it's never that way. It's never is. I'm convinced we're jinxing it.
And I think it might be me and you who are jinxing it too. I think all of our games that we've gotten to cast together have been pretty one-sided. Don't think we've had many comebacks or any type of swing arounds. But this one, I'm just excited for a lot of fun plays because I'm seeing a lot of potential from both sides for some like late game craziness, right? We have Morphling versus our Shaker, so the Axis potential is going to be there in later stages. Then he's also got an Earth Spirit on his team that he can work with. And also, that's an Immersion Earth Spirit. Usually he gets banned in almost every one of his games, level 27 Earth Spirit player.
Yeah, it's definitely comfort on both sides, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you look at Na'Vi, especially considering the way they were able to win that game off of the Earthshaker and Beastmaster combo, and then you give Iceberg his Doom again, even if it didn't go well last time, then you've got V-Tune on Signature Phantom Lancer. It's like, it's all comfort for Na'Vi.
Yeah, and this time it's not as much pressure on Iceberg to be like, oh my god, who am I dooming? Oh my god, there's this Morphling and this other guy and this other guy, 3 hero targets that I don't know which one to doom. They have other heroes to control. They have other heroes to actually allow him to cast the doom. They have Earthshaker to set up with a Fissure, because last game I just saw Iceberg trying to set up the doom and he can't. And they have Always Want to Fly and Disruptor.
Battle rolling up fearless here, but quickly rolls away. Oh, he didn't make it. Roger stopped him with the Fissure. They're going to cut around the trees, and he's not going to be able to roll away. Well done. And they're going to try and give it up to somebody specifically, and it's Iceberg. They give it to their mid.
Get him any type of advantage versus a Morphling so he can do a little bit better, because he did do decent in the matchup the last game. He didn't crush it, but this will give him a slight edge as we see General immediately skill Axes this time around. He is going to be playing versus that high base armor hero, the PA, and versus Enchantress. Doesn't want to get Boar, and Axes are magical, so not too bad versus those high armor Agi here.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, well, they're going to battle again here. Seneko exerting enough pressure there that he will be able to get the bounty rune uncontested. So that is going to be Gambit.
Very nice. All right, so let's see how all these lanes will end up turning out. As I want to see how bottom turns out in particular, because now that last game really felt like they just gave up way too much down bottom with Always Want to Fly in general. So gonna be watching them, as this is an easier lane to not feed gold to. PA much harder hero to actually just take advantage of things on like a Wraith King. And Enchantress, there's no Boar. He's not skilling it, so they won't have to worry about the counter.
Yeah, and as a result, the Fissure is going to be less effective as well, right? Like, part of the success of Fissure blocking was the fact that you get General a fast level 3, whereas Boar is really powerful. Plus, if the lane is very long, it means the Boar slow is even more effective. But here, if you're forced to level Axes because you don't feel comfortable ever summoning a Boar against an Enchantress, then that kind of nullifies both of them.
At least General's going to get away with the lane, right? So he can't get bullied out of the lane by any means. He'll be able to always just hit the PA pretty decently with the Earthshaker, just blocking Enchantress from playing Enchantress. You see the double wards being committed by Roger to ensure that Ench does not get any type of creep.
Wonder if Roger is ever going to be free enough to rotate into mid, or if that doesn't really feel that good against a Morphling. I guess it all just depends on how ballsy no one is going to be with being agility morphed all the time.
I actually would like to see him do that, because I saw him start with this early smoke. I think it's something really clever that you can do, where your morph is just always, you're playing at like 1 HP bottling up. You could just get hit by a Fissure from the sideline under a ward and just die. So I think there is that potential, because General, I don't think he's going to get pressured down here too much, especially if he plays safe when Roger does move away and he gets the lane resets.
And look at today,
this triple creep wave.
He's desperate. He's like, please, no, don't do it. Don't block the hard camp. But Roger does find his way there, blocks it once again. So still no creep for Seneko to be able to play around with.
But Dream is going to deny this entire creep wave bottom. He has triple range creep still down here behind the tower. So they're going to actually kill out at least one or maybe just one or two of those melee creeps. So will be some lost experience for General.
And Echo may still be able to hold the creep wave in front of the tower. We'll see. Pressure from Jill's a bit too much. Roger grabs the creep wave again.
Roger.
This time, though, Roger
might die.
put himself in trouble. He already used his Fisher earlier. He slowed down enough. They saw that immediately. Dream and Taneko were like, that is a kill. And they tip Roger before he even goes down. Now General's going to die as a result of that misplay from Roger. 2 kills to AS Monaco Gambit.
Oh, that was a massive misplay. Like they had just like kind of evened the lane on. Roger just walks up and literally just dies. That was weird moves. Similar to what we saw last game too from them. This bottom lane giving up some kills that probably shouldn't happen. And now Seneko gets a D ward as well. His camp is open.
Are fortified.
Bit of a disaster for Na'Vi in the bottom lane again this game already at the start. 3 minutes and they give up a big one.
How's this top lane going? See, I always want to fly 2 levels of the Thunder Strike, so he's playing very much in lane, splitting the experience
Been killed.
needed there.
No way that you can pressure V-Tune up here. Just PL's base armor and just overall like base damage. He can freely last hit. Puck can't actually apply nearly as much pressure. And Earth Spirit's more like this roamer. He actually doesn't apply the same lane pressure if he doesn't have some very strong hero to actually work with. And Puck can be that very strong hero, but not into what he's up against. Disruptor's one of those better zoners.
Well, it is time to roam. 4-minute power runes are coming up, and Roger does not make the rotation here. He's too busy trying to deal with Seneko, so it looks like Gambit should be able to secure a power rune for no one, which we know these refills on bottles are very effective.
Yeah, actually surprising to see Roger do that move too, because he may have body blocked the hard camp for a second, but it had already spawned, and then he actually just pulls it on Seneko. So Roger's movement so far not really working out too much for their start. Iceberg, he'll find himself an ice armor creep. As I said, he always either gets a wolf or an ice armor when he's playing the mid doom.
Back and forth to Roger. Careful, it's
Are fortified.
hefty amount of damage he's taken.
This is actually a much better creep than the Alpha Wolf. It really does feel. He's just trading hits with no one, and no one's actually kind of not winning that trade because of this. 11 armor on the Doom. That damage doesn't actually come through at all. As Immersion, we'll get the kick away. We'll secure himself his rune.
Same time, Seneko, even if he's not getting the bounty runes, he grabbed one of those boars, and boy, that boar is super effective. With the extra damage by enchant, with level 2 enchant at that, he's got enough to be able to slow down Roger again here. Fortunately, the Fisher will block out the boar, but Seneko can still kind of fight around this area. He's going to go for a TP out. That TP will not make it, though. So that is a support that is going to be out of lane for another 30 seconds.
Yeah, but honestly, if I was Seneko, I would tip them right back. I'd be like, congratulations, you chased me all the way to the rune, and Dream is getting a free lane. You guys already have thrown your lane. So I would honestly immediately tip back if I was them, changes on Seneko.
Yeah.
Because he's done his job. He's done the damage already. This laning phase for bottom for Na'Vi has been a pretty big disaster, honestly.
Oh, for sure. Dream's a full level up. It looks like Immersion's going to be able to get the opening on Always Wanna Fly. So they kind of need something like that. Try and secure. We've seen how important the laning phase is for both this game 1 and 2, and if Gambit can secure both the side lanes winning, I'll be pretty happy. Of course, I say winning lightly here. As you pointed out, really just cannot pressure V, his highest CS on the.
Yeah, but that means that, this greed is paying off. It's a PA Morphling lineup, and your PA is able to get this farm, so it's looking pretty nice. It just also, you're seeing Iceberg really pull out ahead this time around versus that Morphling.
Certainly is. This General dies again here in this bottom lane, and now we're beginning to see the Beastmasters actually becoming a bit of a liability.
They have to play so much more I mean, this PA is 6 now. They have to play this lane super passive just to catch back up. Pull waves, creep manipulation as best as possible. This could be the real big thorn in Navi's side. Like, I don't know how General is going to find himself to catch back up. They're going to have some big moves across the lanes to be able to allow this Beastmaster to have a game, as the surround is coming from Gambit onto mid lane.
Yeah, and if they could get this kill, it would be massive. Iceberg no longer having much regen left. He just has a Fairy Fire. Is that going to be enough? No, it's not. The coil and the infinite shot from Snako make sure that he does die. 5-2 now with AS Monaco. Gambit taking a small but decent lead here in the laning phase.
Yeah, they do. It does force them to move 4 heroes over there, but when they have PA free farming, they can do this. Like, they know that they can't apply the pressure onto V-Tune anyway. Their PA is free farming. Might as well shut down the mid when they are playing with these greedy supports like an Earthshaker.
Do you feel like they have enough answers to Phantom Lancer?
They could. The fact that the PA is farming so well, I want to say yes. Because I think the PA is going to be enough if he's able to get this early of a Battle Fury. Like, he's getting full free farm down here. The other heroes do not pertain to the PL. So it's really going to be Dream, that one, to control the PL illusions. So it could still be problematic for them to actually deal with this V-Tune PL once he turns up. Because if the PA ends up getting doomed in the fight, then they just can't deal with these old illusions that are going to be. So still looks like it's going to be a pretty hard game for them, but they're off to a very good start here.
Man, poor General. Still level 4. Spore is just not that scary. Roger.
They're trying to bail him out.
Yeah, they
Iceberg.
rotated mid. He smoked up Iceberg so they can go ahead and get a good Doom rotation in. They're going to spot Dream. Oh, bit of a misclick there, but Dream, there's no way out of this one, really. So he's going to go down. Small chance that he gets denied, perhaps, but unlikely. The kicks are going to come in, trying to slow him down as best as possible. If V-Tune keeps up, Immersion quickly rolls out of the way before Roger could catch up to him. So, big rotation this time to bottom lane as opposed to mid.
V-Tune gets the last hit, too. That's very nice. Enable him a little bit faster to get this defusal timing. And then he can actually show up to fight. So that's one thing where maybe Navi's looking to play around that time of the defusal, and then Morphling's pretty hard counter because of that, and PA doesn't want to fight. So in that situation, Navi could have some very good fights kicking off with the PL.
Immersion throws a kick out. They're going to try and take out Roger while he's still silenced, and they do. And Iceberg's not much of a threat without the Doom, but he is going to stay in front of Immersion here, making sure that he can't actually roll away. Still, though, the pressure has already had its effect. They've taken that mid tower with no one's more.
Not too bad. Pretty. All things considered, it's very even early on here. It's just General who's really the one suffering a lot. Sineko's actually ahead of him, and now he keeps taking his bowlers. He actually has Medallion already finished on the inch, so that'll be nice for his PA.
Top tower is under attack.
But PA is going to get doomed in pretty much all these scenarios, so I'm just still going to be watching up for that. And you know, it's going to be this, like, these 2 carries that are able to carry the game for Gambit, and they are having a pretty decent start, but is it going to be enough to deal with the PL? As we do see V-Tune, he's getting a little out of control pre-defusal.
Yeah, he tried to chase down the Enchantress there, which is really, you know, I'm looking at this, they really don't have good ways to kill this Enchantress. Especially with Medallion already. A nice roll-in kick from Immersion helps secure the kill for no one. Once again, AS Monaco Gambit are willing to just run all over the place, outnumber Na'Vi if necessary, and it still feels like, because of the way the laning phase has gone, it feels like they're taking small wins and pushing bigger and bigger advantages, with no one being able to take that mid tower. Now Dream is assaulting top while no one's also going for bottom tower. I mean, this is max greed here, Fog.
They're taking advantage of these cooldowns. The support's being very low level on the side of Navi, still not hitting the level 6 at 11 minutes after eating Tome. And it feels like they're fully reliant on Doom at the moment. So they see Iceberg TP top, they swap around. They're just avoiding this Doom very nicely here and distributing their wealth. As Zaneko pushes up a bit far, but he's just fine. He's got that untouchable now.
What is it that is allowing AS Monaco roll in from Immersion right as Roger tries to go up to the high ground? They had a plan for him. What do you think it is that is allowing AS Monaco? Oh, that was a whip and a half. Afterlife. Guess didn't expect to always want to fly to keep moving forward in that situation. And misses the coil. Still gets the kill, though. I was trying to ask.
What were we saying, Cap?
what it was that AS Monaco Gambit are able to make these greedy lineups and just like win the early games so well.
I think having this Morphling versus that Doom matchup makes a big difference. That's why they, like, it was a Doom picked into the Morph, but just the lane in general, he can't take advantage of it. Where I've seen a lot of times Iceberg is this Doom, he kills the mid laner as soon as he hits 6. He just literally runs them down. And this one, he can't. So I feel like it is greed from both sides as well. Where I feel like Doom mid can be greedy, I feel like that's where Gambit raises the greed and it ends up working out for them. That's why they pick these two hard carries in a way versus that Doom.
So with the Enchantress neutralizing the Beastmaster and then the Morphling neutralizing the Doom, your only playmaker left at that point in time is a Phantomites here, and he doesn't want to do any of that. He wants to hit creeps.
Yep.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They do have the 6 though. They do have these big team fights on the Earthshaker and the Disruptor that can kick off. And can't be that blanket as well, where it's, you know, Iceberg, as mentioned, he needs to Doom the right target, but they always have that AoE silence that's going to be really nice from Disruptor versus Morphling and versus PA and versus Puck. I mean, very mobile cores that we do see on the side of Gambit.
Does manage to get out the cliff. Always want to fly. Still going to die here is the rest of Na'Vi on the run. They wanted to be able to save their only remaining tier 1 tower, but it's not meant to be, as AS Monaco Gambit bring everybody to this top lane and continue, it seems, to look for engagement.
The book will get cleaned up again. So 2 of those little summons for no one. The TP's coming in. V2, and he's got Diffusal.
Oh, nice Fisher block. Sineko kind of stuck here, not able to make it down. They're going to turn around and go for him. They have a 3-man coil there on the back line, but it's just pretty much for Gambit to escape. They leave Sineko behind.
And now Navi's actually going to play as 5 more. Now PL can actually be a hero on the map. Even though V2 was turning up to some fights before, with Diffusal, it's a totally different monster. Now they actually have their lineup kicking in together.
Look at him.
It's on the high ground.
He sees this read coming, kicks them, rolls out before the Fisher happens, and immediately taunts them with some chat wheel.
Navi feeling themselves a bit of a power spike here. And Gambit, they want to be able to chill back and farm a little. They'll be able to fight with their 4, but they also just want Dream to be able to keep this triangle for himself. So controlling this area very important for them so that their PA can actually keep up and be that solution for the PL. Because we do know V2 is going to be a big problem for the majority of those heroes. And yeah, he's immediately going to rush the heart. He's just going for all that HP because then he solves the 4 heroes. He solves Morphling, he solves Earth Spirit, solves Puck. Doesn't have to worry about Enchantress besides Enchantress taking over his own illusion. It's just going to be that PA to deal with all that huge HP of a PL. So then it's right, and then Iceberg, it should be an easier job for him because then his main priority should just be always Doom the PA.
Gambit, they're going to strike right back here at this top lane, rolling into poor old General, man. He has just not been having a great game 3.
No, he's not. They have a lot of ways to just get on these targets. I like these. I mean, the 4 heroes that they have, right? Very mobile. Morphling, Puck, Earth Spirit, even PA, they can all, if they get on a target, they'll kill them incredibly fast. Navi is getting caught out while they are split up, and still a ways from Roger having a Blink Dagger too. He's still about 600 or so away. So it's a bit harder for them to actually make any type of initiations on Navi while we see Gambit just making all the moves. B-Tune will show himself mid. He has always want to fly behind, maybe waiting for an attempt and a Static Storm on no one, but no one doesn't take the bait. And no one has a Ethereal Blade done. So he's off to a good timing himself. Not to address the PL, but just to have his own game.
This will allow him to, especially as like a 2-position Morphling, feel like you're a little bit more free to just kind of like dive in there and execute one of the supports and then just morph strength and just try and create some chaos while your true carry comes in and cleans up.
Yeah, they can mess with the idea of Navi's draft. These 2 very far wanting to play far back supports can just get instantly killed from Earth Spirit and Morphling, as Iceberg has BKB.
He's really going to have to try and hold off on it here, but that might have been too much, Iceberg. Oh my God. Regen! It barely kept him alive there, as the last shot from the Enchantress was not enough.
He was... I cannot believe how long he held that BKB, and now Doom is wasted.
Seriously.
Afterlife, he just eats the Doom, and now that's a long time where Navi they can't really be aggressive. They don't have the blink on the Earthshaker, and Doom is their only real way to start and kick off fights. Beastmaster General's game is like out of it, so he can't actually catch anything. I can't believe how long he held that.
Yeah, seriously. He really did not want to use that fresh BKB charge. Up, there goes the shotgun. There goes always want to fly. Bye-bye. Well, it's a question. Big question is who's going to be taking this Roshan fast enough? The Sineko does have, with the medallion, they've got the minus armor enough to enable the Morphling to freely take Roshan.
And there's no Doom. They've gotten good wards set up, and Roger, still no Blink Dagger. He's going back to pick it up if he sells his Tangos or a Salve or something like that, but this is happening too quick, and now it's a PA with an Aegis versus a Doom lineup.
Yeah, even worse if they try and rotate over now, but it's too late. So it's not even like they got a whole lot of farm out of it. I mean, General is hovering around the area. The two supports kind of moved over, but too late. All it is V-Tune hitting the triangle, trying to work on that heart. That being said, I don't want to... I have been very impressed with some of these carries that rush heart, most notably the Bristleback, but I've seen it with Phantom Lancer too. It feels like heart is such a strong item right now.
Yeah, I've seen it on like even Troll Warlords. I saw it being built up like after like their second or third item. I've been seeing a lot more hearts picked up on these carries. People really do like it. It keeps you consistent in the fights. Like your regen is just always persisting. It makes these like if you don't have heroes to address the illusions, it makes it even harder because then these newly freshly illusions just keep coming out with more and more health if you're not hitting the PL. Yeah, it is quite strong, and you know V-Tune, as we're saying, you know PA is having a great game and all, but V-Tune is keeping up and he's keeping ahead.
Yeah. It's always slightly ahead of Dream. This tower, it looks rare times that Dream does manage to eclipse him. Only up by 3K, went for the death, so.
Oh, he went greedy, okay. And they actually did give that Aegis to the Morphling. We haven't seen a Static Storm this game either. I feel like we're having a lot of people just not keen to go to look for their spell usages, just not looking to use them on any bad targets, just want to get like the perfect fights.
Kick out. General leaving behind his Necrominions to try and threaten Gambit. They will all TP away. That is actually quite notable, Fog, that you bring up that point, because thinking back to game one when AS Monaco Gambit were behind, remember just all the active plays they were trying to make. They were smoking nonstop as they're going to find Sineko here. It felt like they were always trying to like do something, make plays to change the course of the game. And Na'Vi, I felt like, have been very much the opposite in this game too. And they're down, it almost feels like they get more passive and wait for mistakes to be made by Gambit.
Yeah, it is a bit weird to say. It's like 20 minutes and we haven't seen the Disruptor get a Static Storm off this. They are walking into Triangle, get a ward down. Can't quite find a good glimpse target though.
Yeah, really good silence there from Immersion as a response.
There's the heart. So V-Tune, he's extremely ready to fight, and we'll have to see how it all kicks up, how they actually deal with these illusions. Gotta be eyes on the PA to do so. He's gone for a greedy build on the PA.
General just cannot go anywhere and can't seem to do a whole lot. Afterlife wants a bigger target. They ignore, always want to fly in favor of Roger here, and with the coil and silence, they should kill him pretty easily. Double kill for Dream.
Easy ways into the back line.
Now they're just going to 5-man up, apparently. Thinking about just poking out the high ground, seeing if they can force... who's that still on the board? Iceberg is the one that's not at home right now. He's trying to hit the mid-tier 1 tower, but it is always dangerous to push high ground against a Disruptor. And you're seeing exactly why that glimpse can pull you back into an awkward position. And if anything, that's just going to waste some time there of Gambit, while Iceberg hit out that mid-wave and pushed it into the tower. He's going to go find bounty room. Well,
I was going to say, I think they have to smoke out and look to fight. I don't feel like you can just sit back and let Gambit do whatever they want. Like it's been way too long of this game where it's been this incredibly passive play from Na'Vi. I feel like you have to look for some opportunities. You're not roaring, you're not static storming, you're not dooming, you're not echo slamming. You're letting Gambit dictate the pace completely, and they just keep finding Sineko.
Yeah, much like when Always Wanna Fly was constantly being the one being found from all these smoke ganks. Both these fine positions of Gambit and Na'Vi are doing a good job of positioning themselves between where the enemy could be and where their team is, making sure that potential smokes always break on them first.
And V-Tune is just massive. That's why I'm feeling like Na'Vi should be hunting a little bit more. Maybe this Aegis is putting them off from trying to go for this play, but either way, I'm seeing a lot of heroes split up. Like Afterlife is showing bottom, Morphling is just showing mid. They do have a lot of information on Na'Vi. They're just not being able to capitalize on it too well.
Yeah,
It's
you
still
really like them
a good spot in the
to
game.
finish off this mid tower. But
They're trying.
15 seconds on the Aegis, so it's getting about that time where Na'Vi perhaps be a little bit more confident with the glimpse back. No one. 5 more seconds. They're waiting and waiting and waiting. 3 more, holding off a little bit longer. 2, 1. Aegis expires, and now they just let loose. And no one. He's certainly going to be dying under this onslaught. But Dream, he pumps out a little power of his own. He quickly kills General. Now tries to bounce back. V-Tune charging backwards here. Trying to use that Phantom Rush to be able to get as far away from Gambit as they are. A tsunami rushing forward. They're going to take over Iceberg. Melt him down real quick. Afterlife with the buyback coming out from Always Wanna Fly. He's going to be caught inside the Static Storm. They kill him. Sineko, he's got to be careful, but fortunately, the Untouchable will do a lot for him there. No one. He's almost burned out of mana here. He's got to be a bit careful, especially if he gets glimpsed back. Nice. He turned into the Phantom Lancer. Ultra kill. Rampage coming out for Dream as he has just taken out everybody in the backline. More buybacks are coming in. Dream, man fighting up against V-Tune. V-Tune does have another doppelganger up, and 1 more second. Immersion's been hunting him this entire time. Silence goes out. They catch up a little bit longer. Sineko gives him an opening. Turn around. There goes the shock. Roger, is that enough? A little bit more. Dream is so low, but V-Tune, he got shotgun. He was etherealed, and he couldn't finish it up, but Dream does finally go down. They get the kill. V-Tune with this heart. He charges the other direction. He goes up the hill with the neutrals. The Phantom Rush. He gets to the other side. Now he doppelgangers again, and I feel like that's it. They can't kill him anymore. If anything, they've got to get back. Iceberg's coming in with the Shivas to be able to slow him down. No one's been burned out of mana. Bit by bit, they will take him down, pick him apart. No one goes down. Afterlife potentially next year. The coil goes out. Ooh, snaps himself on that one. V-Tune, though, what a play. The heart doing some serious work keeping him alive in that team fight, Fug.
Yeah, Dream picks up the BKB toward the end of the fight, cleans up the backline, gets a Rampage doing over 9,000 damage in the fight, but also the PL doing 9,000 damage in the fight as he's able to survive, kite around, get his doppels, and just get that heart regen just fully kicking in. And that's why we're seeing it picked up so much. Even if you're getting hit, you're just always still regenning, and he's able to hold his ground. And I think we're going to have a pretty crazy battle of the carries coming out in this game.
Yeah, it certainly seems like, and now he's got the SNY coming in, so even less time that he is kind of has to play a timeout whenever these silences come in from the Earth Spirit or the Puck. He's just got to make sure he's always doppelganger, right? And then that heart regen just kind of offsets so much of this damage that kind of flies around. He's going to go ahead and see if he can backdoor this tier 1 tower, the top lane. He's got some allies behind him too, so it should be.
What level was he before the fight, actually? I feel like he was only level... I think he had 3 levels from the fight on the PL, by the way.
Well, glimpse back into the Static Storm. They managed to get immersion this time around. He has most of the time been able to stay ahead of them, but this time between the Hawk and the glimpse, they do catch him before and roll away.
And all this, too, definitely important to point out that no one died. He did buy back, and he died again. So his game has gotten slowed down a lot, and now that's where I feel like if you're Iceberg, now you really just doom the PA. Now they just don't have a way to kill the PL at all, and if you get a doom on PA, it feels like the fights are just over from there on out.
Yeah, and
he's gonna do the build. He's gonna go the Ags, yeah. The 100-second cooldown, applies the break, just ruins PA completely.
That'll make a non-factor in these team fights, and the fact that he's halfway there, but it's beginning to feel like it's Gambit who are may have to like pick up the pace a little bit and do something. If they let this Na'Vi squad farm up this Aghanim stuff, team fights are going to be very rough for them.
Absolutely, and they don't even have the shard yet on the Shaker. I've actually seen him. He was queuing up an Aether Lens. I really don't want to see him buy that. Just buy the shard. Yeah. If Roger gets that, I feel like the fights really are going to be quite difficult for Gambit. Like Dream has to make so much happen out of his 9-second 9-second BKB. He has to kill pretty much everybody else and isolate the PL somehow, just like they did the last time. And it feels like it's just going to get harder and harder as the PL is getting more and more online, and the other heroes are getting tankier. You know, this Iceberg Doom has a Shivas. It's not like he's squishy by any means. If they mess up at all killing him, they're screwed in the fight. As Dream, he shows himself. Iceberg can't get the Doom though.
Yeah, Sineko may have that untouchable. The sad thing is for both him and for no one, these are heroes that can survive relatively long time in these engagements, but the glimpse just makes it so they're pulled so far out of position that it doesn't matter what kind of survivability they have.
Yeah, and they don't deal with PL. That's, you know, PL was picked as this super hard counter to Morphling throughout forever, throughout the history of Dota, really.
Are scanning.
V2 level 20. So, I mean, yeah, he's getting quite a bit stronger. In Dream, he is getting stronger too, but it's Dream is playing versus Doom, which I'm just gonna keep harping on. He's just gonna get doomed, and then it's gonna be the Morphling to deal with that PL, and it doesn't feel like he's gonna be able to, as Afterlife is found.
The Hawk gets the vision. He's going to sell fuels for as long as he can now. He still has a chance to be able to get out of here, especially with the sounds going out. Afterlife is pulled back by the glimpse that he did still have the orb out. The Primal Orb from long range is going to be able to catch immersion, but immediately BKB doomed up Dream. He jumps in and has to run. He's got to get out of here. Fortunately, the coil will slow down everything. They can reset this fight and perhaps even re-engage if they choose to. Afterlife certainly wants to, it's looking like, because he's going to play around a little bit with his orb. Jumps out, Dream quickly kills Roger on the side. A big crit. Dang. Oh, my Iceberg. He lost about half his health from that one, but Dream has just been caught up in this Phantom Lance. He's being burned out of all of his mana. Once again, glimpse back in, but no one comes in and finishes off General. They still can't do anything about V-Tune, though. He does way too much damage, and he is just this giant wave of illusions that they can't touch. He's full health all the time. It is bit by bit burning him down.
Radiant's top tower.
I think Navi's really just identifying that fact that they can't touch the PL. If PA is unable to hit the PL illusions, they do not have anyone else to do anything to them. Puck, Orb, Waveform, etc. just does nothing at this point. Big fight for Navi, and they didn't even have to have the Echo Slam. Roger gets caught in the sidelines during all of it by a silence and does die. And that was the reset. That was the re-go from Gambit. They chose to try to go back into there, and they lose Dream on that. That says a whole lot. As V-Tune, that's pre-MKB too. He's getting close to having an MKB to deal with that evasion's coming out from the PA. Sure, his illusions doesn't get it, but this will help a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of things that AoE damage that they could get. We've got the Waveform attacks targets at level 20 for no one, but his game has been so stalled that it feels like it's not going to be that impactful. There's level 25 where you get the triple dagger. That might help in being able to, like, just pump out damage and deal with this giant zoo of illusions that they're currently. Yeah,
I don't know what they really get either, because the only thing I see them being able to itemize on any hero is actually Dream if he gets his Ag Shard, which sounds ridiculous, but it applies a break, and you can actually stop the PL from making illusions and stuff like that. But he's already the solution for the PL, so I don't feel like he can actually go for that type of item, because he's just getting focused anyway. So I don't know what they can actually do on the rest of the heroes. It's only a 1k gold lead for Navi, but they don't have the solution for the PL at this point at all. And PA is just going to get doomed and focus fired completely every single fight, because the rest of the heroes will just die to illusions.
You know, it's funny, despite what we're seeing and like the analysis, that the game is saying, no. Gambit definitely have the advantage here. And it's probably, you know, they just look at it like late game PA, late game Morphling. These heroes don't lose. But
yeah,
team fight wise, it hasn't been looking hot for AS Monaco Gambit. Maybe if they get the right kind of initiation, things could change pretty dramatically, especially if they get a coil onto this Phantom Lens.
They have to somehow control him, and they have to really just ensure that the Doom does not get casted. They have to just not let Dream get doomed, because the Aghanims is done. So if Dream gets doomed, it's absolutely over of a fight. Level 3 Doom online now too.
They drop a ward. That ward is spotted by the sentry. Both teams knew that the other was lined up here. A re-smoke here. They're going to go ahead and jump into the triangle. And don't tell me that Gambit are going to do something similar here. Is they're actually going to smoke up
They're gonna smoke. They know that this is the fight. Like, Na'Vi knows that this is their biggest fight. If they win this fight, they just likely win the game completely as Sineko. He'll walk in first.
Sineko, Coil only onto one. Iceberg charges forward with his BKB and immediately identifies the PA. And here comes V-Tune as well with a broken PA. He is very easy for them to be able to just go on and take apart. The Doom's not going to last much longer, but they've got the kill anyway. Jumping forward, Roger gets in front of Immersion, getting a second kill for them. And everybody else from AS Monaco Gambit, it looks like, has already disengaged. We're 2 for 1, but a big win for Na'Vi as once again they kill and bring Dream farther and farther down that net worth, man. Oh, they found Sineko too.
A prize healing power.
Goodbye, Sineko. A slow and painful death for you.
Slowly swinging that enchanted totem.
Iceberg's like, never mind, you're not worth it. See you later. Roche is up. You're not. Screw you, Sineko.
Yeah, screw it. He doesn't have a TP. What is he possibly going to do?
And now, the thing is, too, is about this Aghanims on the Doom, it lowers the cooldown as well. So look at the cooldown, look at PA's respawn time.
Yeah.
This just feels like the game plan for Na'Vi at this point is just so easy to execute. And it feels like Gambit has to play like 4D chess in order to just somehow try to find a way to take these fights. They have to do something, though, because these next few fights, Dream just has to be able to protect himself somehow. Like, someone has to buy a Lincoln's or anything to protect this man.
Yeah, it's looking like 5-on-5, so not the play anymore for Gambit. They've got to try and split people. Oh, no! Tried to jump in and finish off Roger. Roger gets off the Fissure, and now he's going to have to use the Waning Rift to escape here. Does have the... Oh, he jumped a little bit too soon. Afterlife. Okay, he's got a blink and a lot of charges. Sadly, though, he's got nothing left. Godlike for V-Tune. Well, a little bit of a bungle there, as Na'Vi are going to make sure they are not picked apart, moving together as 5, willing to bail each other out wherever they go.
Hey, just PL, V-Tune, just lead the charge. No one can kill you.
Yeah.
Even if PA jumps you, PA doesn't kill PL fast by any means. You see Dream, he already knows what he needs to get next in this game. He's got the Rapier queued up as he's just getting targeted. And I feel like Iceberg, anytime he sees this PI on the map, just immediately run at him.
No one. He does have enough damage to kill. Always want to fly. See if he gets out, though. BKB, TP, he's good.
Iceberg! Oh, he was trying to run in and get it.
He tried.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Still, though, you can see they are free to farm wherever they go. Dream, not quite so lucky. He's been running down this lane for a long time. Hasn't hit a creep in a while. Just
can't show his face.
Yeah.
If he shows at all, like you're just gonna see this Doom immediately beeline at him with the spider legs, with everything too. Lanes are being forced out. Bottom is in a good position for Gambit right now, but yeah, this looming pressure, this PL, V-Tune, there's a reason why they picked it for him this game. 10-0-6. He saw the opportunity versus the supports, versus the limited damage, and he's done perfect, honestly. General, definitely having the most struggle in the game. Him and Roger still not having the best last 2 games for themselves. 1-7, 4-9, but they're still doing a decent amount of their jobs. They're just enabling the PL.
Yeah, these Gambit definitely came into this and said, okay, we're going to keep letting you have the Beastmaster. We think we have the counters to it. And, I mean, that says a lot about confidence, considering how badly that first game went. They just decided to run it back 2 different times and said, okay, you can have it. We're confident that we're going to be able to address it, and boy, have they. I mean, in general, just is near non-existent the last 2 games.
Yeah, they've definitely done a good job on that front. This game, it's just, this PL is just, he's just a bit too much for them to deal with. And I feel like Iceberg is having a much better time this game. He's actually finding targets, and he actually has the heroes to allow him to Doom targets. Like these glimpses, these fissures, they're very impactful. Last game, we only saw the one Doom, sure, but he just wasn't able to get the Dooms off because the heroes are just walking away from him. Dream does show himself for a second up top. Immediately look at Iceberg. Spider legs popped.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That Kobold's been there forever.
It has been. I actually thought walk at first. I was like, what the hell is whatever? He's chilling.
Somebody
he's got a friend now.
Somebody dug that one up with the shovel and just left it alone there in the junk all by itself.
At least they left
says, okay, I've got another 2.5 minutes on the Aegis. I see you pushing down that bottom lane. We're not going to run around the map and try and catch you guys. I'm just going to force you to TP back. Otherwise, I'm going to take a full lane.
And they have to get back. Dream, he's making the long way over. He's still a ways away from his rapier.
Yeah, he's actually kind of an awkward position here.
Yeah, no TP available. Might as well just farm in the meantime. I don't think they can really defend the racks too much. I mean, he's at least cutting the wave with his illusions mid, so they actually can't go for the racks here.
Okay.
And so Neko will push bottom. So some time bought.
Yeah, it's
Shows
actually
the time is needed.
it's pretty good. I mean, because I think the most dangerous thing for Gambit right now is that the game ends before they get a chance to get this Divine Rapier, considering how far away it is. So that was a good amount of time bought.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Nice, the Neko's even getting base damage. Look at this creep. Look at this solar crested plus 50 damage creep. Look at it.
I don't think Navi's respecting this at all.
Just look at this creep. It's tanking now. Look at this creep go. 18 armor.
What's happening?
Taking the tower.
My man just took a tier 2 and now potentially tier 3. They do get something for it. They go ahead and spot immersion and get a glimpse back on him. So, hey.
He's still going. He's got a range creep now.
Yeah, I mean, the tier 3's gone. Guys.
All right, well, he'll pay with his life in a second here, as if they see him, he's dead. Do they see him, though? General?
Oh, he
we'll
could
see him.
TP'd out. He's going to go for it now, but of course the roar is going to be there. So he will slowly but surely die. At the same time, though, what is this? They actually tried to coil up. The Doom went out onto the Morphling. This gives Dream finally a free opportunity to get in there and try to go for the deny. Afterlife misses out on that one. Dream cannot afford to die here. He's working his way up to that Divine Rapier. They're going for the all-in play, but they thought for a second they could have taken a small pick and brought down Iceberg, but they could not have been more wrong. Now they invested into half of that Divine Rapier. They don't have a buyback on Dream, Fog.
I think Na'Vi can just end the game. I think if they just start hitting the racks, they don't see these buybacks. They just go in. We're seeing it. Afterlife cutting the wave again, but they've got a double catapult wave pushing in. And I think they probably saw that relic also in the bags. Yeah, they did. They're going tier 4s. They know.
Yeah, you're gonna have to buy back on no one. Somebody's gonna have to clear out this creep wave. I mean, the following creep wave has been cut. Look at that.
Okay, they're gonna give that
refresher.
respect.
Yeah, they are.
And yeah, the refresher's coming out. So Doom, another Doom's gonna be up. It's up in 40 seconds anyway. He'll have another one before that though.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
V-Tune opting for the damage talent, which we've seen a lot more people go for critical strike.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Yeah, too many nerfs to the doppelganger one. So it's team. Yeah, he doesn't feel like he's not even worried about survivability anyway in this game still.
Yeah.
Radiant's top barracks are
As
under
well.
attack.
The racks does go down. No one trying to find any type of farm. Can outside the base, trying to get these new neutral items for themselves at the 37-minute mark. But now, double Dooms are ready. Iceberg has a blink coming out and Abyssal for V-Tune. They are more than ready to end this one.
Yeah, they certainly are.
No
Looks like no one may be caught before. Yeah, he is.
He's doomed.
Glimpse back with the Doom. Immersion trying to roll forward. I'm not sure for what, though, as now he's certainly going to be dying here. Oh, that is an Aghanim Scepter coil. They
Iceberg.
might just be able to kill him, but no, the Abyssal Blade. It stops the PA. Iceberg gets off the Doom just in time, and Dream. Oh, he came so close to being able to kill Iceberg and stop that big counter, but it didn't really matter. I think V-Tune, he was just so damn big on that Phantom Lancer. Na'Vi, they will walk away the victors of this series. They were the favorites probably coming in, but this is certainly one of their toughest opponents yet at the group stage. AS Monaco Gambit certainly pushed them to the limits.
You can definitely see that they felt that pressure. Like, look at the way that they're taking the end of the game. I saw like Always Want to Fly just like straight up like face palmed right after they win the game anyway. So that I think that